step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Oh, good morning, you empowered, powerful, hopefully joyful, amazing human beings. Welcome to it. It is Expresso. It's live. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Hopefully you're feeling it. It's unofficially Brad Binder Day. Unofficially. Officially, unofficially
yeah, we
Brad
can
Binder
call
Day.
it that.
We'll do that. But of course, more importantly, we continue to celebrate Women's Day today. Very good morning and a welcome from my side. I am Graham Richards.
And I'm Katlego Maboya. So good to be in your company. The start of a brand new day, start of a brand new week. And as always, we appreciate your company. And yes, as Graham said, we continue to celebrate Women's Day through from yesterday. It actually is Women's Month in South Africa as we go on along. And of course, we recognize the contributions that make our lives better every day, all by the incredible women all around us. And this morning, we honor UCT Vice Chancellor Professor Pakeng as she was recognized for the Toastmasters 2020 Communication and Leadership Achievement Award. I mean, she's an exceptional and incredible individual, just in general. You follow her on Instagram and you check out her posts, and it's just inspiring to read what she has to say every single day.
And then I think Jamie is going to take the lead this morning. She's going to be dishing it out for a change. She's going to be putting Ryle through his paces this morning.
Ryle,
she's going to be owning her fitness routine this morning. We absolutely love that. Then we're going to be joined by our relationship architect and good friend, Ashley Lewin. And we're going to discuss how we can create young, confident girls, turn them into young, confident women. And as a parent, now a new parent to a young lady, that really does interest me. So going to be hopefully an empowering show today.
Absolutely will be. Hope you enjoy the next 3 hours with us. And of course, Gospel Mondays as well. And hey, Ryle, guess what song's getting performed today?
Good morning to you, South Africa. Oh my word, the gears this morning on this Monday morning. My name is Jamie Lee Domberg.
And of course, I'm Ryle the Moon. Yes, indeed, you heard it. We've got so much empowerment coming your way. First off, one that I'm very excited about. Jamie Lee Domberg's taking us to fitness.
Why do I feel nervous all of a sudden? I feel like you guys are putting so much pressure on me now. I feel like I need to start getting squats done. I need to start showing abs because I know that you are obviously a fitness guru, and now I just feel like I need to step up my A game. But bring it.
I think everybody just wants to know the secret, Jamie. Every day on the show, we're seeing this lavish look, and we want to know, feed us, gal, feed us, of course. And obviously on social media, we're chatting to you guys to see what you can feed us when it comes to information, and we're chatting about extreme sports, but of a different kind. That when it comes to motherhood, and it's a really entertaining one. So we're asking you, how are you teaching your daughter to be strong and brave? Obviously, we've got some ideas here. We're talking about physical empowerment, about mental empowerment, but I'm sure you guys do have some ideas too. So let us know on social media channels, of course, and we'll be chatting with you throughout the day to find out what your scoop is on that. But,
absolutely. But right now, let's get on with the show and find out what's happening in and around the world with Kat.
It's 3 minutes past the hour on this Monday morning. Here's a look at the headlines on the news front. In the national news, drugs worth millions have been seized at OR Tambo International Airport. A consignment stashed with drugs was intercepted after a detection team followed up on a tip-off from crime intelligence, which led to the discovery of the drugs weighing more than 21 kilograms hidden inside religious ornaments. Now, police spokesperson Colonel Atlenda Mate said preliminary investigations have revealed that the drugs, worth an estimated street value of 4.7 million rand, were destined for South Africa from India. So far, no arrests have been made. Now, the Desmond and Leah Dudu Legacy Foundation has called on women to take a front seat in the post-coronavirus pandemic recovery plan. In a Women's Day statement, the foundation says COVID-19 has revealed some of the best human characteristics, such as the courage and compassion of frontline healthcare workers, and some of the worst, including systematic and fundamentally unfair inequality. Meanwhile, as of yesterday, the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases was 559,858. The total number of deaths, 10,408, and the recovery rate had increased to 73%. On the international news front, global leaders participated in an aid conference yesterday to support Lebanon as the country crippled by corruption, a banking crisis, and growing popular defiance against the authorities is seeking massive relief after the blast in Beirut. The video conference was co-hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron and the United Nations. Gulf states, European nations, and the United States have already sent mobile clinics, food, and medicine to the country. Some 250 million euros have been pledged. Authorities said the largest explosion in Beirut's history caused damage estimated at $10 to $15 billion. Now, one of UNESCO's wonders of the world and East Africa's largest tourist event, the annual wildebeest migration by some 2.3 million animals, is quietly taking place this year with almost no one watching. Now, it usually attracts hundreds of thousands of tourists, but this year the COVID-19 pandemic has prevented tourists from witnessing this spectacular event. To help plug the gaping revenue hole, hoteliers and tour agents have been encouraging domestic tourism, but those who depend solely on that for their livelihood are worried that it could take many months or even years to fully recover. And now, in the spirit of Women's Day, news of a nurse who boosts patients' spirits in an exceptional way. A nurse from Scottburg in the KZN South Coast boosts the spirits of patients at the clinic where she works with her jokes, dancing and singing. Sister Tatagahle Gumede, who is 57 years old, has taken caregiving to another level. Affectionately known as Mabengu, she makes her patients forget about their illnesses, and she entertains them with music and dance while they wait for their consultations. Gumede has been a nurse for 33 years now in different health facilities in the province, and she says she chose this profession because she wanted to serve the people. Gumede and the staff members at Pilani Clinic in Kwaxele near Scottburg always start their day by singing and educating the patients. Pilani Clinic is in a rural area of the KZN South Coast where many residents are unemployed, and Gumede composes songs that are informative. As the country battles with COVID-19, she has composed a song that encourages people to follow precautions to prevent the spread of the virus. Now, she's been described as a true angel on earth. Beautiful story there. And then quickly taking a glimpse into the world of entertainment, famed entertainment manager and judge of many talent competition shows, Simon Cowell, is recovering after receiving a 5-hour surgery to his back. The 60-year-old is reported to have broken his back after he fell off an electric motorbike that he was testing in the courtyard of his Malibu home on Saturday. Now, a source explained that he had to have a number of fusions and metal rods put into his back, further saying that the injuries are bad, but he's also been told that he was very lucky. Now, we wish the music mogul a speedy recovery from those injuries. And that's it for the news at 6 o'clock. We'll have another report at 7. Right now, here's a look at what happened in the world of sports this weekend. And let's start off by saying, go Brad Bender.
Well, the entire world is congratulating South Africa's Brad Binder, of course, who won his first MotoGP race at the Czech Grand Prix yesterday in only his third outing in the Premier class. Even President Cyril Ramaphosa congratulated Binder on the win after he became the first ever South African to win a MotoGP race in history. 24-year-old who has his birthday actually this Wednesday, rides for factory KTM, and he finished behind Petronas Yamaha's Franco Morbidelli, also making it onto the podium for the first time in his career, and Frenchman Johann Zarco on a Ducati Aventure. And staying with motorsport, Red Bull's Max Verstappen won the British Grand Prix at the 70th anniversary of Formula One at the Silverstone circuit ahead of Mercedes teammates Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. That was, of course, yesterday. This was the 22-year-old Dutchman's first win of the season and Red Bull's first victory at Silverstone since 2012. Then on to rugby, lots to celebrate there as well, as the Crusaders won the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition after claiming a 32-22 win over the Highlanders at the Orange Theory Stadium in Christchurch. It was early yesterday morning. The Crusaders storming back into the match in the final quarter after the Highlanders led at halftime. A brace by winger George Bridge helping the Satyrs clinch the match and walk away as the overall tournament winners. And the other Aotearoa fixture, the Hurricanes beat the winners Chiefs 31-18. Then bringing it back home for football, Mamelodi Sundowns booked their place in the Nedbank Cup final. That was after registering a 3-2 win over Bidvest Wits at the Orlando Stadium on Saturday. Masantwana they'll face Bloem Celtic in the final after they thrashed a 10-man Baraka FC 3-0. This is the first time in 35 years that Celtic have made it into that final. And staying with football, UEFA Champions League action continued this weekend with plenty of goals. Bayern Munich recording a 4-1 win over Chelsea, and Barcelona beating Napoli 3-1. So Barcelona and Bayern will now face each other in the quarterfinals, and that's this Friday in a reduced time frame for the competition. In other results, Man City, they edged out La Liga winners Real Madrid 2-1 to advance to the last 8, while Juventus, they beat Lyon 2-1 on the night, but Lyon advance on away goals. Lyon will be up against Man City in their quarterfinal tie. And that's where we leave our sport for now, but we'll delve a little deeper and continue to celebrate unofficially Brad Binder Day here on the show in our weekend sports review in just a moment, so stick around.
A very good morning to you, South Africa, and Yatemba Nogenya Pila this beautiful Monday morning. Also, a big shout out to all my beautiful women this morning. Here are some sunrise pictures to signify the start of a brand new day. Elaine Cupido came through with the sunrise picture from Ocean View. Clear skies with periodic clouds at a maximum of 12 degrees. Thank you so much to you, Elaine. Uzolisa Tladrayo woke up like this in Johannesburg. Your temperatures range from 4 degrees, reaching a high of 19 degrees. Thank you, Elaine and Uzolisa, for your sunrise pictures. I trust that you had and will continue to have a great Women's Day weekend. Pretty sure that we can all agree, though, that Women's Day should be all day, every day, and twice on a Sunday, right? But right now, let's get into more serious news. As the Western Cape is set for a probably wet and cold week, China is dealing with the worst flooding in more than 20 years across vast swaths from its southwestern interior to its east coast, turning roads into rivers. Since June, some 4 million people have been displaced or evacuated because of floods. One of the major problems is that dams, which provide hydropower and drinking water to nearby cities, are built in rivers. But during an extreme rains, authorities are obliged to suddenly release the water, thus flooding villages. Experts predict that storms are going to be more intense in the future years and warn China, as well as other countries with significant waterways, including the United States, that they will face greater flood risks and that engineers will increasingly have to make a careful calculus about where to release water or risk a dam collapse. But now let's get into the temperatures for the rest of our country. Up I am Polokwane at a maximum of 25, but your morning starts off on 5 degrees. Mbombela, your temperatures for the day range from 11, reaching a maximum of 27. Pretoria, 5:22. A partly cloudy day in Jozi Maboneng at a low of 4 degrees, reaching a high of 19. A sunny day for you, Mahikeng, at a maximum of 24. Klerksdorp, 0:20. Kimberley, the Big Hole, you start off your morning at 1, reaching a high of 18. Bloemfontein, you're below 0 today, this morning rather, at a low of -2 with an afternoon temperature of 18 degrees. Richards Bay, 11:23. Pietermaritzburg, your low is 5, reaching a high of 21. Durban, South Africa's playground, 12:23. Mthatha, down in the Eastern Cape, 1 is your start of the morning, reaching a high of 20. East London, 15:21. Cradock, -1, reaching a high of 18. Port Elizabeth, the friendly city, 13:19. And George, your low is 8 degrees, reaching a high of 19. Now, Cape Town, do expect 55% chance of rain today at a maximum of 15. Worcester, 5:17. Sutherland, 2:13. Uppington, your low is 1 degrees, and you will reach an afternoon temperature of 18 degrees. Now, remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good Women's Day weekend.
Oh, the drama this morning. Yes, the feel good is going to continue. Now, in the midst of Women's Month right here in Mzansi, we're celebrating some prolific women who have made their unique mark in history and have really paved the way for other women to shine just as brightly using their platforms. Now, Mzansi superstar who's so passionate about empowering the youth with the tool of education is actress and human rights activist Nomzamo Umbata, who earlier this year used her platform to help open the eThekwini Primary School in her hometown of KwaMashu. Now, she proved to her followers how much she values education by ensuring she completed her BCom degree in accounting at the age of 27. That's amazing. Well, after she had gained fame and fortune as a popular actress, she once had these wise words to say.
She says, seeing other women contribute to social change pushes me to do more and to be and to have the best of my ability. One woman has the ability to empower another and allow her to shine her light too. Oh, absolutely incredible words. Now, with role models like Nomzamo, we can't help but be inspired to bask in that light and help shine it on others too. And now later in the show, we're going to be chatting to Prof. or Mamageti Pakeng, who was actually the Vice Chancellor when Nomzamo graduated for her BCom degree. So a nice little rendition there of a complete circle coming around.
Absolutely. We are going to celebrate all those women on your Feel Good Breakfast show, but we'll see you guys in a moment.
Only you can make my day.
Someone give me a time and ad break, please, man. My comms idea.
Sheesh.
30 seconds.
Hey, Ryan, are you there?
30 seconds.
Ryan, how are you, buddy?
Laga.
What a weekend.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. What a weekend. I think we are all buzzing at the moment, and understandably so. South Africa's Brad Binder must be on the top of the world after winning. He really is. He's a world beater. He won his first MotoGP race in the Czech Republic. There are so many milestones attached to that. Binder becoming the first South African ever to win a Premier Class race in history. In the world of rugby, of course, the mighty Crusaders, they remain mighty, and they got tested. They had to prove their championship winning credentials after beating the Highlanders to clinch the Super Rugby Aotearoa title in Christchurch. Really did perform like champions on the day. And then definitely a weekend to remember on the footballing front. We'll get into that just a little bit later, but right now we're going to connect with another very proud South African this morning. It's our senior sports writer, Ryan Frieda, who is joining us via video call. I know he's not much of a petrol head, but I think we all turned into petrol heads this weekend.
Absolutely.
Ryan, good morning, brother. How are you doing?
Morning, Graham. I'm not a petrol head, but I am a South African. What Brad Binder achieved at the weekend was incredible. Just to put it in context for people, first South African to win in that Premier class. And this is his rookie season. Nobody has won in their rookie season since Mark Marquez. Some of our viewers would be familiar with what he's gone on to achieve in the sport, but such an incredible achievement. And as a South African, I think at a time like this, we must look for every opportunity to celebrate, and this is one of those.
Absolutely, man. You mentioned Mark Marquez and the things that he's gone on to achieve, and giving Brad Binder's history as well as in Moto3 and Moto2 and now in MotoGP. I'm sure not just like the pressure, but the hopeful expectation of all South Africans for him to go on and achieve far greater. I mean, we're talking world championship status that is now possible. It's there, right?
He's fifth on the championship standings, which is absolutely crazy.
In his third start of the MotoGP season. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, look at the celebration. If you're looking at these visuals right now, the South African flag waving proudly. I mean, this is a really, truly significant moment, and I guess also so inspiring for future motorbike riders and future prospect racers coming from the country, Ryan?
Yeah, so this is an incredibly hard sport to be consistent in. It's just there's so many different factors that contribute to that. Not least of all the financial backing that you've got, and so. I mean, who knows what his future in the sport is, but certainly for a guy so young to achieve this at this early stage of his career bodes well.
Incredible for KTM as well. I think it's only their fourth year in the Premier class, and to be producing these kind of performances. First time on the podium for them as well. Incredible, and they've invested so much in him as a young rider, as they have with all of their young championship riders, bringing them up to the fore. So brilliant weekend for Red Bull, brilliant weekend for Brad Binder, and of course they took the Formula One as well. So Red Bull smiling, I think, after all of the motorsports action.
Absolutely.
But we're going to continue to celebrate Brad Binder throughout the week. We're going to try and get in touch with his management team as well, so if we can't connect with him in person. But let's shift gears slightly to Super Rugby Aotearoa, and I think we kind of knew that the Crusaders would probably clinch it this weekend, but man, were they tested. They had to prove their champion credentials against a Highlanders team that were leading at halftime. This wasn't a side that was going to roll over and just let the Crusaders walk away with this title. They had to earn it.
Yeah, absolutely, and earn it they did. But just speaking more broadly, how incredible is it for a franchise like in these times where you lose so many of your big and elite players to European or Japanese clubs to build a dynasty like the Crusaders have? That is an incredible achievement in this current environment. If you consider that this is part of Super Rugby, the Crusaders have now won 4 titles in a row. And again, in this environment, it's incredible achievement. How Scott Robertson is not the All Blacks coach is beyond me. And he'll pick up one of the big European countries will pick him up at some point. I'm absolutely certain of that. Or for Japan to throw some money at him might be an option. But if he was South African, we'd be frothing at the mouth to have him as our coach. He's achieved so much, but congratulations to Crusaders again. To build a dynasty in this environment is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, in the other game that played just before that, the Hurricanes kept their hopes of winning the tournament alive with an emphatic win over the Chiefs there, who were hoping that they could just break the back of this losing streak, because they've now gone through the entire competition without a single win. I mean, that picture just speaks volumes right now. What do you make of that game?
It was always going to be hard for the Canes to keep their title hopes alive. They needed to get 5 points out of this and hope that the Crusaders will drop points on Sunday. But I mean, that was always going to be hard. But again, congratulations to them. This is 5 on the bounce for them now, 5 wins on the bounce for them. I think they'd be disappointed with how they started the tournament. Ultimately, it cost them, but they played well against the Chiefs side. Yes, who are struggling. That's, we were talking about 5 wins on the bounce for the Canes. This is now 10 losses on the bounce for the Chiefs. So they've got some thinking to do. But unfortunately for the Canes, they play great rugby.
Yeah, great rugby all round. Then, of course, we shift to Australia for Super Rugby AU. The Rebels, surprisingly, convincingly beating the Brumbies 30-12, and the Waratahs absolutely dominating the Reds. What did you make of Aussie rugby this weekend?
Opinion embarrassed there, right, Graham? I said that the Brumbies are going to run away from this, and that the Rebels who were far behind them were going to get smashed. So what do I know? What do I know about sport and rugby? But yeah, that was a really flat performance from the Brumbies. They didn't do all of the things that they've become renowned for. Their phase play wasn't there. We spoke on Friday about earning the right to play expansively. They didn't do that, and they paid the price.
All right, so I'm going to beat a hasty retreat here. Start thinking about football, my friend, because we've got a lot to chew through. I'm going to go chat to Seabelo Senatla in just a moment. So I'll see you a little bit later, my brother.
I'll see you then.
I was about to say, Ryan, that I'm hoping to hold that over your head in the upcoming football season. You know, what do you know when it comes to some score predictions? But have you heard any news? I mean, that we are in the transfer window right now. Any news that you've heard about any great transfers that are going to be happening anytime soon?
Yeah, Arsenal are competing for mediocre players with the likes of West Ham, Bournemouth, Norwich. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Oh, man. Why did I even ask that? I should have known it was coming. Anyway, you do stay tuned, of course, as with Ryan Fred a little bit later on. You'll be taking us through the exciting Nedbank Cup and, of course, the UEFA Champions League results from the past weekend alongside big-time fan Romano Fortuna. And, of course, if you're a super fan as well, like Romano, make sure that you post your comments and your opinions about this weekend's matches, and we'll be in contact. Of course, you could be sharing your opinion live right here on Expresso.
Whether in sevens or Super Rugby, he is undoubtedly one of the deadliest finishers in the game, a phenomenon in the green and gold for the Blitzboks. He's now entered the 15-man fray for the Stormers and no doubt has his sights set on a different cut of Springbok jersey and is also eyeing his future and influence beyond the game. Please welcome one of SA Rugby's favourite sons, Seabelo Senatla. Sia, how are you doing, bro?
Hi, G, I'm well, thanks. How are you doing, my bud?
Oh, so good, man. I'm going to not waste any time. How much are you missing rugby right now, bro?
Bro, you have no idea. It's actually crazy because I feel like we're not the only ones that are missing it, but the general public as well. Because every single way I go, people are just like, when are you guys starting? When are you guys starting? And that's the general awe of the conversation right now. Like, when are we starting? Nobody really knows.
How's the rehab going? Talk us through that injury and where you're at right now.
No, it's amazing for me. For someone like me, it's been quite amazing because first they gave my body a break from all the 7s, 15s, jumping around and doing both codes. So I've got to breathe in that sense. And the current injury I have now is not something that's very huge. It's like a load thing. So I guess I've been pushing myself way too much.
Sure.
But I guess that's the general thing for me because I just want to be out there. So the frustration of not being able to play just makes me push a little bit harder in training, I guess.
Dude, I've got to ask you, and it might be a bit of a sore point. You talk about playing both sevens and the 15-man game, but when we look at sevens, obviously the series has now been called New Zealand, have been crowned champions. How are you processing that? Because it kind of, you were still in it. The Blitzboks were still very much in it.
But you know how sevens is, man. 4 tournaments is a lot of time. It's a lot can happen in 4 tournaments. We had an instance where we won, I think it's 2018. We won the series on the last tournament, and we were pretty far off. We were way off than what we were now. So it's pretty frustrating to see stuff like that. Well, I guess, contrary to that, I guess, we should kind of give in a petition to have Sharks win the Super Rugby. Because that's not continuing. So, they should do what they do on the left, they should do on the right, I guess.
No, man, don't even talk like that. Don't talk like that, man. I have a feeling...
Because they're on top, man. They're on top, so...
Yeah, no, but it's a bitter pill, so our condolences on that side. Let's turn to the 15-man game. I have a feeling that we are yet to see what you are fully capable of at the Stormers. How are you wanting to adapt yourself to the 15-man format? How do you train? What are your expectations that you've set on yourself?
I'm glad you say that because I feel exactly the same way. I feel like I haven't scratched my potential in the 15-man game, and I think that's why I'm literally killing myself like this because obviously I'm trying to reach the potential, right? I see myself as a 15's block, to be quite honest, and that's what we're working towards. So I have huge ambitions for myself, and I'm pushing myself thoroughly in all spheres to make sure that comes to realization, and hopefully it does.
Give us an idea of the bigger picture. How do you see yourself and your brand growing? What's the end game here?
You know, I started realizing my potential to actually be a brand, right? And we don't do much in SA. We don't do much in SA as it is done worldwide. You know, you look at athletes and how they, you know, use their brand commercially to make sure that, you know, they capitalize on those opportunities. Firstly, for me, it was about that, you know, taking the Seabelo Senatla that plays rugby and try to build that into a brand. Give more of myself, as I call it. So take whatever I like and my interest and branch it out that way. So one is one of them. I guess something that's going to be on the horizon is something that has to do with fashion, because I'm really keen in that. Mm-hmm. So I'm taking pieces of myself and giving it to the world. The start was one, and it's been amazing. Very challenging, very different, but really, really great.
Buddy, it's so good to see your face. It's so good to hear that you are edging closer towards training again. Thank you so much. Wishing you a very speedy recovery with the rest of your rehab. And then, of course, a very speedy return to the field.
Thank you so much, my man. It's always great seeing you. You guys must stay well. See you guys soon.
Absolutely love connecting with you. Hopefully that's helped you guys at home ease the weight for actual rugby just a little bit and got you even more excited about the fireworks that we can look forward to when our South African stars return to action.
Happy birthday, Granny. Thank you.
It's my feel-good birthday show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Oh, feel that jingle, everybody. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. Yes, you can feel it. It's that time of the day where we wish you, our loyal and loved viewers, a very happy birthday. And guess what? If you're celebrating today, you're celebrating with one of the youngest ever self-made billionaires, Kylie Jenner, everybody, who turns 23 years old today.
She's 23 years old.
Say what? Say it louder for the people at the back. She's a billionaire, self-made, 33 years old. Okay, doing the things.
I can't imagine how it feels to own that kind of bank account at 23 years old. But she's a businesswoman, social media icon, and a mother to the most adorable girl, Stormy. Kylie has earned millions through the lucrative world of celebrity endorsements. She has successfully launched her cosmetics brand, Kylie Cosmetics, and on the 6th of August, she launched her skincare collection. There are no signs of her slowing down. Happy birthday to you, Kylie. She's also in the new music video,
WAP.
WAP.
Yes, WAP. I don't like it. We're not going to go into that.
We can't get into the lyrics, unfortunately. Still very early for that.
But what we can get into is into this amazing video that was sent through to Beverly D. The message reads, happy 68th birthday to our granny Bev, aka Maggie. Thank you for all you do for us and always taking our side when our parents are angry with us. You are the best granny ever. May God keep you and bless you to see many more years full of energy as you are. Sorry we cannot be with you. Your lockdown birthday party via WhatsApp video will be tonight. See you then. We love you from Corbin, Ilaria, Cheslin and Marcus. And there is a video. Let's take a look.
Birthday, Granny. Thank you for all you do for us.
Happy birthday, Granny. You're the best granny in the world.
Happy birthday, Granny. God bless. Love you so much.
Yo, Maxter, happy birthday. Wishing you all the best and many more happy years.
I love you.
I love you.
Happy birthday
To you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear.
Happy
Birthday to you.
In the happy
I thought it was actually part of it. I thought it was like the backup singing, maybe.
Oh, I
No?
see. Maybe. You actually might be right. So very happy birthday to you. But getting to some more birthday wishes. Wishing you a many happy returns of the day. May God bless you with health, wealth, and prosperity in your life. Happy birthday to you, Jody, looking gorgeous there. Kaylin, we wish Kaylin a happy second birthday. May God bless you with many more and more years. We love you from your auntie Renchia, Uncle Warren, and your grandparents. Happy birthday to you, cutie pie.
And then this one goes to Abonge. Happy 10th birthday to Ambonge, who is the one in the center. May you be blessed with many more, lots of love for you. And this is from Aunt Tandeka and Gogo Tobekile. And then to Tatum, happy birthday to Tatum. May you have many more wonderful years and all of the best. I love you very much. And this is from your mom, Gail, on your special day today.
Happy 7th birthday to my gorgeous girl, Kayla van Straten. Mommy and Omi wish you the happiest of birthdays and hoping you will remain the energetic and happy girl that you are. From Nadia Mathi, happy birthday. Wesley, happy 38th birthday to an amazing husband and a super amazing dad. May today bring you much joy, love and happiness from your wife, Celeste, Kitties, Jasmine, Tasman and Jessie. Happy birthday to you.
And then to Sean, enjoy every moment of your life. May every day bring something new and exciting for you. Stay blessed, Sean. And this is from your wife and your friends. We absolutely love seeing these wishes. But of course, if you'd like to send your loved one a birthday message or video, send those through to 071 640 6551 or email your wishes to birthdays@cordova.tv. But right now, our favorite, Jenny Morris, is in the kitchen ready to whip up a chocolate birthday for all of those celebrating today. And we're just going to be out here taking a sip on our teas because Mama is ready for us.
Clover Classic, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
Oh, yes, you heard it. I just love celebrating, seeing all those beautiful faces smiling, celebrating and having a good time, of course. And we're going to carry on with that trend while we head out here into the kitchen. And of course, with any classic celebration, such as a birthday, an anniversary, or maybe just I'd say, well, what are you talking about right now? It's Women's Month indeed. A cake is always set to feature somewhere in between. Now, we received a request from Feroza Bedat, who said, "Good day, Expresso show. I pray everyone is well, and I would like to make a double-layer chocolate cake and decorate it with a chocolate ganache." Now, if you could please get a simple yet cost-effective recipe, but also make it moist and delicious. Well, Feroza, don't you worry, my lady, we got you covered. And we hope you're tuned in right now because I'm joined by the amazing Jenny Morris, who's about to show us a classic Clover chocolate cake recipe with a decadent chocolate ganache icing as you requested. Jenny Morris, oh, I'm so excited. Let us begin. It's one of my favorites. It's my kryptonite. It's chocolate. I cannot say no.
All right,
yeah, let's get it going.
Sweet. We've got some caster sugar. And if you think you're going to sit so beautiful in that corner, I'm going to put you to work.
Oh, am I? Well, when Jenny Morris says you can put to work, you don't ask any questions. I'm at your service.
Thank you. Cocoa powder. We have caster sugar.
Okay.
Last, we're going to put some salt. We've got some bicarb because we need to, not bicarb, we've got actually some... we could use bicarb actually, but we've got some baking powder.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to just social distance you. I'm very sad to say, but you carry on.
Am I going to work on this? Right. Say no more.
Yes, you can afford to eat this too. Right back. All right. So now I have some eggs, some beautiful free-range eggs and some vanilla. And we're going to use some oil. Oil is, you can use canola or vegetable oil. It keeps it beautifully moist.
All right.
This is the secret ingredient, baby.
I did obviously hear Rosa requesting a definite moistness on this.
Absolutely.
So I see where it's coming from now.
Oh,
Rosa,
yes.
hope you're watching.
Oh,
We
yes.
got you. We got you.
And this beautiful Clover Classic treat is also not only going to keep it nice and moist, what it is going to do is it is going to help it rise to the occasion even more.
Okay.
Okay, so the whole idea here is to put the wet into the dry. And the reason why I'm doing it in two separate bowls, you don't want to overmix your flour because you don't want to get that gluten to develop, because then we'll have a delicious chocolate bread. So all the hard work is happening here. Now, if you were standing next to me, I would be holding your lovely arms and getting you to whip this into a frenzy. You're whipping me into a frenzy, but never mind, I'm an old woman. Now, I need to get that bowl back here.
Right.
Don't
so
come
no more,
too close.
as you requested.
Thank you, baby.
I hope I did a good job there, Jenny Morris.
You did a very good job. What can I say? Okay, so in we go. We just get all of that lovely wet stuff together.
Right.
And then just whisk it, go from the center. In fact, just so. Okay, so why don't you whisk that?
Gladly at your service.
Every time you lift those arms, I want to die, doll. So now the chocolate ganache, what we need is some lovely clover cream and just some dark chocolate, some really good chocolate. And we're going to heat the cream. And while the cream is heating, don't look at me, darling. Look at that bowl and
I need to pay attention. This is the good stuff. I can't miss this.
Yeah, but you can have that afterwards. Keep mixing. I need to get it into here,
At your
Babala.
service, working away, working away. It's Women's Month. I guess it's only fitting that the lads need to get into the kitchen and do the work here.
You're
So
going to
I
do
am
that all
nothing
year
but
round.
honored here.
Stir that. And then what we do here is we just stir this into the warm cream. The chocolate's going to melt, and then you can either cool it down and keep it in the fridge and ice it later, or you could just pour that lovely hot chocolate chocolate all over the cake. Give me that mixture.
I won't lie, I'm hesitant to give this back because it's smelling and looking so good.
And you do that.
Is that it?
That's it, Baba.
Oh, wow.
Quick and easy. This is like a one-pot wonder.
Honey dropping in there. Of course, guys, if you have just tuned in, head over to expressoshow.com right now. You can see it on your screens where we've got all this incredible recipe inspiration. We're busy with the chocolate cake. It's iced off with a ganache, and we are using clover to make it so, and it's, of course, moist, decadent, and all the things that you need when it comes to a celebration, when it comes to a cake, and it's smelling delicious. We haven't even put it in the... Where does this go afterwards? In the oven?
In the oven.
It's smelling like a cake already, and we haven't even started the baking.
Haven't even started baking, so it'll go into the oven. I'm going to lick my finger. Yum, yum. Into the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes. And when a skewer, you just pop it into the center. It's important that it comes out nice and dry. It's ready. You cool it down, darling. And this ganache.
And that is it. The beautiful ganache gets served right over the top. And that again, you can put in the fridge or drizzle it straight over. Hot, ready to go.
Yes, onto a cool cake, though.
Oh.
And this clover cake is a cool cake. So I think people know how to make it.
Well, there you have it, guys. An absolute incredible reason to make a cake to celebrate. It's Women's Month, of course. And if you missed this recipe, don't go anywhere. We've got a recipe recap just for you. Check it out.
Made with love by Clover.
Clover Classic, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in on this beautiful Monday morning. Of course, we are coming down after an incredible weekend of sport, or still trying to come down to earth at least. We turn our attention to the thrilling and dramatic world of football. Please welcome back our senior sports writer, Ryan Freda. And once again, we are joined by, I would imagine, a very happy Barcelona superfan, Romano Fortuna. Very good morning. Welcome back, gents. How are you doing?
I'm good, guys. Very good.
Romano must be happy with what the performance that his team turned out this weekend. Man, smiling.
Definitely, guys.
Yeah, 15 goals in total there in the Champions League, which we'll touch on in a second. But let's just first also just touch base with what happened in local football, with the Nedbank Cup resuming, of course, on the local front. Two teams making their way through to the final in Bloemfontein Celtic and Mamelodi Sundowns. Let's take a look at that game between Baroka FC and Bloemfontein Celtic. I think you called it as well, Ryan Freda, saying that it would be a pretty easy breeze for Punya Sele Sele as they make it through to the next round.
Maybe not that easy, though.
Yeah, but Celtic were always going to be the better side in that game. And I mean, both fixtures were incredibly scrappy, but you expected that, right? For the first game back after the lockdown, and especially since there hadn't been any friendlies leading into that. So both games extremely scrappy. Celtic were always going to be better than Baroka. But what a thriller we had in the game after that with Sundowns and Wits. Lalake coming through with a free kick from which happened effectively the last kick of the game. Extremely exciting. And so while the quality of the football might not have been up there, the entertainment value certainly was.
Yeah, and we expected the teams to be a little bit rusty, but what a great way. We always love seeing goals in a knockout fixture like that because we don't often see them. So a great way to welcome us back into local football. First time in 35 years that Bloem Celtic will be in a final of the Nedbank Cup or tournament like that, which is incredible. But I think Sundowns probably the tournament favourites now.
Yeah, certainly. It all depends how they manage their workload going forward. So just on Tuesday night, they play Pirates. So in the PSL, with the PSL resuming, they're 4 points behind Chiefs with a game in hand. And that fixture schedule is going to be jam-packed up until the final Nedbank Cup final on the 8th of September. So how they manage that, how they're able to keep players fit, are they able to get some players back, will all factor into how they go. But in terms of the cup competition, they're certainly the favourites, strong favourites.
Yeah, and of course, looking at Champions League and the favourites there, everyone's so glad to have Champions League football back on Friday and Saturday night.
Class.
15 goals, as I said, in total scored between all of those teams there, and some very, very stunning goals as well, and thrilling performances from teams in general. Juventus, very, very unlucky to be dumped out of the competition at this stage. Cristiano Ronaldo firing in one of the most spectacular goals you'll ever see with his weak and left foot
as well. Yeah,
unbelievable. But still, Lyon managing to advance through to the next stage, and that was, of course, on night one. In Manchester City also proving that they still got what it takes against the very strong Real Madrid side.
And weren't we reminded of just how unbelievably good Manchester City actually are? Maybe we've forgotten that with Liverpool dominating the English league, but Man City is an unbelievable side.
Man City since lockdown for me have been scary. I support Liverpool, and we are on the receiving end of just how good this team can be. We got wiped at the Etihad. But Man City, for me, if they're not going to break their duck in this competition this year with the teams that remain in the tournament, then I don't know when they're going to do that. They also got a favourable draw next. That's not to diminish Lyon. They're a very good side, really well coached. But if City don't at least go to the final this year, then there's something fundamentally wrong happening there, and Pep has really got to assess kind of where he stands with this club.
Romano, I think that's your cue, my friend. He said this would be the year that City could do it, but I think your money is on someone else. What did you make of your Lionel Messi's wonder goal this weekend and Barca's performance?
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody who's tuned in. For the fact that Messi scored that goal, I felt very, very, very happy, because for the fact that there were three or four defenders around him, where he never see there, where he scored that goal.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't control myself for that goal because I was very excited. And we need goals actually, and that's why I was so I couldn't even find myself to the fact that there was not a goal, but actually it was a handball. I saw it afterwards. Clearly it was a handball, but I accepted, but I was mad.
So guys, I mean, Romana and I were speaking off camera about this, and Romana won't know who this is, but Lothar Matthäus came out this weekend and said that Bayern Munich have to do a lot of things wrong to lose to Barca in the next round. And Romana's not going to like this, but I tend to agree with him. I don't think this is the Barca team of old. This isn't Barca and the Pep. There's a reason they haven't won the competition since 2015. And so I'm worried about them, especially against this Bayern Munich side, who, along with City, just look frightening.
Yeah, and I guess, as you said earlier on, Graham, perhaps a sobering game for Frank Lampard there. That qualifying for the Champions League doesn't necessarily always mean that you are worthy of the Champions League. But that's a story for another day. In fact, that game was just emphatic when you take a look at how dominant Bayern Munich were from start to finish. I mean, obviously they had the goal, aggregate goal advantage. That kind of gave them a much more relaxed disposition when it came to their approach to the game, but the fact that they smashed in four goals on the night, that's incredible.
Very incredible.
Yeah. So I'm not even going to pretend to be objective about this. As a Liverpool fan, I love to see Chelsea go out of this tournament. We've got a history with them, especially recently with Lampard and his childish comments to Klopp. So Frank can watch this competition along with the rest of us now. But Bayern Munich were frightening. They're so good. And it's a pity that the winner of this game will go on and face either PSG or in the final, or sorry, City in the final, or in the semi-final. But Bayern Munich are frightening. Bayern Munich are, I think, just edge City, and City are at an unbelievable level, but Bayern Munich are just a little bit more refined for me.
Oh man, some interesting prospects moving forward, but we are loving one way or another this condensed Champions League tournament. The fact that we're getting our live football in. Romano, congratulations on the win this weekend. Good luck.
Show us that Barca pride.
Come on, son. We look forward to hopefully connecting with you.
We will win.
Yeah, there we go. He says it.
Thank you very much, guys.
And don't worry, Ryan
will be stressed out.
And Ryan has had to eat his words already this morning, so don't worry. But gents, we love you both. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And once again, we say congratulations to Brad Binder.
Come on, Brad Binder.
Come on, Brad Binder, for winning MotoGP in the Czech Republic this weekend. What an unbelievable achievement for the South African rider.
Oh, indeed, the lads are just celebrating. There's so much reason to it in the first hour already. We're talking about Brad, we're celebrating birthdays, and of course, we're making this Monday that much more epic. And we ran an incredible competition during the Tropica Island of Treasure, Curacao.
Oh, yes, and one lucky viewer, Sipho Qalane, and his family couldn't believe it, Rahul, when he was announced as the grand prize winner of a Suzuki Ignis.
Yeah, and we were there, of course, when we received these wheels, and we couldn't have been happier for them. So check this out. Wow.
Suzuki Auto got involved with Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao because we're very well aware of the fact that we need to be aligned with brands that have the same message that we have. So Suzuki as a brand is fun and exciting. Tropica as a brand says exactly the same thing, and the show is amazing. The Suzuki Ignis is a stunning little car with a huge amount of personality. It's got a 1.2-litre engine, which sounds small, but it will take you anywhere. Because it's so light, it will take you everywhere. It has a raised ride height, which makes it fun to drive anywhere in the country. You can go on dirt roads, you can go on tar roads, you can go long distances. Fuel consumption is magnificent at about 4.9 litres per 100 k's, so you save money there too.
Feeling happy, and it's good for me, and at the same time It's good for my family. I like to watch Tropical Island of Treasure. My favorite team there was Cool Red, Nadia and Trevor. And what I like about them, from the beginning, they were showing those signs that they wanted to win at the competition. And there's another girl, Ndando. I like that girl. It makes us laugh each and every time. He inspired me. He inspired me very well. The highlight of the Tropical Island, it was when the contestants were running in town, because it was a long run, and you can see that the guys were fit. And the other one was when my team, Cool Red, goes there and win the Tropical Island and lift the flag on that castle. I like the car. It is so beautiful. The paint is shiny. I like that it's 1.2 engine and it's economical. I think I will save a lot of petrol from now on.
The Suzuki Ignis is a very beautiful car. It has got huge personality. I like the features on the car. I like the glossy feel, and I like the color that we have chosen as a family.
I am very excited and I'm very happy. We've been longing for a new car ever since.
I would like to drive to Port Elizabeth and go to the sea and driving around, looking around the mountains in Port Elizabeth and Eastern Cape almost.
My message to Sipho and his family is simply this: welcome to the family. Suzuki is a family. At head office we're fun, in the dealerships we're fun. We're a family and we like to look after our people. So welcome to our family.
I would like to say to Suzuki and Tropica, thank you guys. It's not each and every one wins a car. I appreciate the opportunity that Suzuki and Tropica gave to us as a family. Thank you very much.
I love that so much. You know what, Tatu Sipone? Make sure, in the spirit of a Women's Day and Women's Month, that Umama takes that car. What do you think?
That's a good plan. It's a good plan. Look, I think whoever has that car, there's going to be so much happiness. I see all the smiles on their faces. And Sipho, wishing you and your family many, many, many safe and happy kilometers in your new Suzuki Ignis. Enjoy, my friend.
Don't forget me when you drive to PE.
do you know? We're going to keep that flow on your feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, wow. That was some bars.
That's my
Youngster
Monday
CPT
bars,
better
yeah.
watch out for Mr. Raldo Morning. But of course, we are going to be keeping you also entertained. And also, I'm going to be taking you through an amazing workout, putting Ral through your faces.
I cannot wait.
I'm very glad that you're excited. You don't need anything, just grab a spot in your house. But right now, let's first get into those news headlines one more time with Kat.
Just gone 2 minutes past the hour. Here's a look at the news headlines on this Monday morning. On the national news front, as the country celebrated Women's Day yesterday, President Cyril Ramaphosa expressed sadness that more women and children are being abused and losing their lives at the hands of men. The president said this year South Africa was in the grip of two pandemics, the coronavirus pandemic and the scourge of gender-based violence. Ramaphosa added that South Africa had joined Generation Equality, a global campaign to achieve gender equality by 2030. He said women need to be empowered and that government would set aside 40% of public procurement for businesses owned by women. Now, drugs worth millions have been seized at OR Tambo International Airport. A consignment stash with drugs was intercepted after a detection team followed up on a tip-off from crime intelligence, which led to the discovery of the drugs weighing more than 21 kilograms hidden in religious ornaments. Now, police spokesperson Colonel Athlenda Mate said preliminary investigations have revealed that the drugs, with an estimated street value of 4.7 million rand, were destined for South Africa from India, and no arrests have been made yet. On the international news front, France is sending specialist teams and equipment to help Mauritius deal with a fuel spill from a bulk carrier that ran aground on a pristine coral reef 2 weeks ago and threatens to become an ecological disaster. Greenpeace said the fuel and oil leak into the nearby lagoons threatened the survival of thousands of species which were at risk of drowning in a sea of pollution. Greenpeace added that it is one of the most terrible ecological crises ever seen on the small island country. In other news, global leaders participated in an aid conference yesterday to support Lebanon as the country crippled by corruption, a banking crisis, and growing popular defiance against authorities is seeking massive relief after the blast in Beirut. Now, the video conference was co-hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron and the United Nations. Gulf states, European nations, and the US have already sent mobile clinics, food, and medicine to the country. Some 250 million euros have been pledged. Now, authorities said that the largest explosion in Beirut's history caused damage estimated at between $10 to $15 billion. And now, still honoring women, reports of extremely brave women in blast-torn Beirut. As the world mourns with Beirut in Lebanon after a devastating blast tore through the city last week, there are astounding reports forthcoming of women being incredibly brave. One such woman was an unknown nurse who rescued 3 infants from a damaged hospital in the Ashrafeh district. Now, the photojournalist who captured the striking image of her cradling the babies said he just knew that she was made of remarkable stuff. He said she looked as if she possessed a hidden force that granted her the ability to save the children. And elsewhere in the city, a 79-year-old grandmother, May Aboud Melki, entered her house, which had been thrashed by the blast, and sat down at her piano, a gift from her father on her wedding day, and calmly began to play. She pushed through the pain and tried to have a few moments of peace, her granddaughter said. First she played Old Lang Syne, then some Arabic hymns, which so moved the volunteers helping clean up around her that they paused, listened, and prayed. And finally, taking a quick glimpse in the world of entertainment, fans love it when their favorite musicians leave cryptic clues or Easter eggs in their music that only a true fan or loyal follower would be able to pick up on and appreciate. Now, popular American singer Taylor Swift especially loves to keep her fan base guessing as to particular real-life people she may be singing about or influenced by. Now, her track Betty, off her latest album Folklore, is one such song that fans have been analyzing as people have been speculating who the track may be named after. Now, as the names James and Inez are sung in the song, or in the same song, fans were quick to point out that this is possibly the name of the third child of actors Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, a conclusion they arrived at because James and Inez are the names of their 2 oldest daughters. Now, the husband and wife, who recently welcomed a 3rd daughter, are notoriously private when it comes to their children and have not publicly confirmed their daughter's name yet. Now, in a recent interview, Taylor said that she had named all the characters in the song song after her friend's kids. And due to the fact that Taylor is really close friends with the couple, this likely confirms that the fan theories are true. Now, the new parents have yet to confirm or deny this, but Blake has shared her praise for the work Taylor has put into her new project. And that's it for the news at 7 o'clock. We'll have another report at 8 o'clock. Right now, here's another look at the world of sports with Graham.
Thank you so much, Kat. I think this story will reverberate for the rest of the week, possibly the rest of the year. In motorsport, South Africa's Brad Binder has won his first MotoGP race. That was at the Czech Grand Prix yesterday and only his third race in the Premier class. Even President Cyril Ramaphosa congratulated Binder on the win after he became the first South African to win a MotoGP race in history. The 24-year-old, who celebrates his birthday this week and rides for KTM's factory team, finished ahead of Petronas Yamaha's Franco Morbidelli, also making it onto the podium for the first time in his career, and Frenchman Johan Zarco on a Ducati Avintia. Then staying with motorsport, a great weekend continued for Red Bull as Max Verstappen won the British Grand Prix at the 70th anniversary of Formula One at the Silverstone circuit. That was ahead of Mercedes teammates Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas yesterday. This was the 22-year-old Dutchman's first win of the season and Red Bull's first victory at Silverstone since 2012. And on to rugby, the Crusaders have won Super Rugby Aotearoa. That was after claiming a 32-22 win over the Highlanders at the Orange Theory Stadium in Christchurch early yesterday morning. The Crusaders storming back into the match in the final quarter. That was after the Highlanders led at half-time. A brace by winger George Bridge helping the Crusaders clinch the match and walk away as overall tournament winners with a game to spare. In the other Aotearoa fixture, the Hurricanes, they beat out the winless Chiefs 31-18. Then bringing it back to South Africa for football, Mamelodi Sundowns have booked their place in the Nedbank Cup final. That was after registering a thrilling 3-2 win over Bidvest Wits at the Orlando Stadium on Saturday. Asantwana, they'll face Bloem Celtic in the final after they thrashed a 10-man Baroka FC 3-0. So this is the first time in 35 years that Celtic have made it to the final. Then a little further afield, in UEFA Champions League action this weekend, Bayern Munich recorded a 4-1 win over Chelsea, and Barcelona beat Napoli 3-1. So Barcelona and Bayern will now face each other in the quarterfinals this coming Friday. In other results, Manchester City were very much in form, edging out La Liga winners Real Madrid 2-1 to advance to the last eight. And Juventus, they beat Lyon 2-1 on the night, but Lyon advance on away goals. So Lyon will be up against Manchester City in the quarter-final draw. That's where we leave our sport for now. Let's take a look at the weather.
Let's get into the second report with some sunrise pictures. Kalinda shared this gorgeous picture from Umkomaas with the caption, "Hello, I'm a woman, daughter, sister, wife, mother, wishing all women a great Women's Day and month." Like the beauty in the sunrise from a chilly Umkomaas KZN this morning, rise above everything life throws at you. Glow, shine, and inspire. You have truly inspired us with that beautiful picture and beautiful message. Thank you so much, Kalinda. Louise D. Sherry came through with this rich sunrise picture captured in Alberton. A sunny day for you at a maximum of 21 degrees. Thank you so much and happy Women's Day, Women's Month, Women's Weekend to all my beautiful queens watching right now. Now, as the Western Cape is set for probably a wet and cold week, China is dealing with the worst flooding in more than 20 years across vast swaths from its southwestern interior to east coast, turning roads into rivers. Since June, some 4 million people have been displaced or evacuated because of floods. One of the major problems is that dams, which provide hydropower and drinking water to nearby cities, are built in rivers. But during extreme rains, authorities are obliged to suddenly release the water, thus flooding villages. Experts predict that storms are going to be more intense in the future years and warn China, as well as other countries with significant waterways, including the United States, that they will face greater flood risks and that engineers will increasingly have to make a careful calculus about where to release water or risk a dam collapse. Now let's get into the temperatures for the day and the rest of the country. Polokwane 525, Bombela it's a sunny day at a maximum of 27. Scooting over to Pretoria, it's a sunny day for you too at a maximum of 22 degrees. Now right next to PTA is Jozi Maboneng at a low of 4 degrees, reaching a high of 19. Mahikeng 424, Klerksdorp, your morning temperature started off at 0 and will reach an afternoon temperature of 20 degrees. Kimberley 118, Bloemfontein -2 is the start of the morning, reaching a high of 18 degrees. Richards Bay 11 is the minimum temperature with a maximum temperature of 23. Pietermaritzburg, your temperatures range from 5, reaching a high of 21. A sunny day in Durban, your low is at 12 degrees, reaching a high of 23. A sunny day in Mthatha as well at a maximum of 20 degrees. East London 15-21. Cradock -118, and Port Elizabeth, your low is 13 and will reach a high of 19. A partly cloudy day for you, George 8-19. Cape Town 55% chance of rain and a low of 10 degrees, reaching a high of 15. Worcester, make sure to keep cattle up with a low of 5 degrees, reaching a high of 17. Sutherland, it's going to be a chilly day for you as well at a low of 2 degrees with a maximum temperature of 13. Last but not least, Uppington, your minimum for the day starts off at 1, reaching a high of 18. Now during winter, allergies can be a nightmare especially and have a significant effect on your daily life, making you miserable. But before you settle for artificial flowers, Allergex Non-Drowsy can assist with allergy relief for the entire day. We all deserve to enjoy life allergy-free, right?
It brings me great joy to say that spring is around the corner. It's almost there and pollen is in the air. And for anyone who suffers from allergy, spring can be your worst nightmare. Your eyes suddenly begin to itch, your nose starts running, you're sneezing every 10 seconds. But what does it all mean? Why do we have such a reaction? Well, we're going to chat to pediatrician and allergist, Professor Claudia Gray, to understand a little bit more about allergies, what they are, and most importantly, how we can treat them. Very good morning, Claudia.
Good morning, everybody.
Professor, I think we all want to start at the beginning. What is an allergy and what are the different types of seasonal allergies that some of us may experience?
Okay, so an allergy is actually an exaggerated immune response to something that should actually be harmless. So there are many types of allergies, of course. Some people are allergic to foods that should be harmless, like peanut or milk or egg. Some people are allergic to medications. Some are allergic to bee stings. But what we're talking about today is respiratory allergens. So people who are allergic to things in the air, such as pollens or house dust mite or mold or cockroach. And basically, it's an exaggerated response to these things that we breathe in. And the response can be either in the nose, setting up an allergic rhinitis, or in the chest, setting up an allergic asthma. What we are about to experience is the pollen season. And interestingly, the tree pollen season comes first, followed by the grass pollen season from September to about February. So in South Africa, we've got a very long grass pollen season. And when people breathe in the grass pollens, they have this exaggerated chemical release, including histamines and other mediators that cause symptoms such as itching, sneezing, runny nose, congested nose, itchy eyes.
Yeah, I'm getting a psychosomatic reaction right now. My eyes are starting to itch just hearing you talk about it. But what exactly goes on? How are allergies triggered? You mentioned a chemical response. What are some of the symptoms we should be looking out for?
So if you're allergic to something and you breathe it in, your body just doesn't like it. It almost treats it like a parasite and wants to get rid of it. So it releases a whole bunch of chemicals, which thankfully for us have been identified, so we can also block them medically. But these chemicals then cause your symptoms. So if you have asthma, it could cause your chest to close up, causing what we call a bronchospasm, and that can manifest in a wheeze, so difficulty when breathing out. And people have a different spectrum of symptoms, and we have to look at the symptoms to decide, of course, on the best treatment for that person.
Something I've always wanted to know, Professor, are we born with allergies or do we develop them? And can you outgrow allergies?
I mean, I'm going to add to that because I have a shellfish allergy. I know that's a little off topic, but I was quite comfortable eating shellfish up until I was about 21, then had the allergic reaction, and now I'm chronically allergic to them. Why do we develop them at a later stage, and is that the case with all allergies?
allergies such as egg and milk and nut allergies often develop very early on in life, and then there's a chance of outgrowing some of them. But there's certain allergies that can develop later. So you mentioned shellfish, so fish and some of the nut groups can develop later in life. If we're talking about era allergen allergies, you can never go wrong as a medical student saying it's multifactorial. So there's partly a genetic component and partly an environmental component. So allergies do run in the family, but it doesn't necessarily mean you'll manifest if you've got the genes in your family. There are probably some environmental factors that have to act. It could be the timing of exposure to the allergen or the degree of exposure. And things like seasonal allergens can certainly get worse over time. So we don't really see allergic nasal reactions in the very, very young child, but they develop over time, also depending on your exposure. So the little toddlers often have indoor allergen allergies, such as dust mite and dog and cat and mold, because that's their indoor environment. And as the child moves to the outside and is exposed to grass and trees and pollens, then those kinds of allergies develop. So we can see the picture changing over time. You asked whether it can be outgrown. In some cases, yes, some people are lucky. Some people get worse and worse year on year. So it takes a different course for different people.
With such a multifaceted path to take us to the point of having the allergic reaction, maybe the best way to look at this is what we can do about it. And how can we best manage allergies? Is there something that can be cured, or do we have to just then manage it?
So I'd say the first step in management is making an accurate diagnosis. So don't just assume I'm allergic. It might be something else. It might just be multiple colds. So see someone who knows about allergies and have the tests done. Identify exactly what you're allergic to so that they can advise you when you will need your treatment. Is it seasonal? Is it all year round? And can you do something about your environment? So identify your allergen. And then secondly, if you can, do some reduction techniques. For example, we have certain high-risk situations such as fluffy toys and fluffy blankets. And when kids with a dust mite allergy, for example, are sleeping with 100 fluffy toys, I always tell them they're sleeping with the enemy. So we can reduce things that carry our allergens. We can wash our sheets and bedding at high temperature, for example, for dust mite allergies. And we can get special covers that prevent the dust mite from going from the mattress and the pillows to the outside. For grass pollens, it's slightly less manageable. I always say to my grass allergic patients, just don't go near freshly cut grass. You are exempt from cutting the lawn. Grass levels are highest at dusk and dawn, so try and be indoors in those times. And if you've spent a lot of time outdoors, when you come indoors, shower and change your clothes so you're not carrying the pollen on you. That's reduction, but that's not going to make you feel absolutely perfect. So then comes pharmacology or medication. For nasal allergies, we've got two pillars. The one is a nose spray containing a corticosteroid. That's the best all-round nasal treatment. And secondly, an antihistamine. So blocking that histamine chemical that causes so much mischief. And we've got a lovely range of antihistamines, many of them nowadays safe and non-drowsy, which will help. For chest allergies, your pharmacological treatment then would be your maintenance, so your prevention to make your chest stronger and less twitchy. So that's an everyday asthma pump or tablet, for example. And then you have your emergency treatment when you're feeling tight, and that will be quick acting, a muscle relieving pump. The third tier to treatment that you mentioned, is there a cure? So to a large extent in the allergy world, we avoid our allergen and we treat the symptoms. There is a glimmer of hope for a cure in a process called immunotherapy or desensitization. And in this process, you're actually giving the person tiny and controlled bits of the thing that they're actually allergic to try and trick and modify their immune systems into eventually liking it. And that's the closest we can come to a cure.
Thank you so much. Clearly, you were exactly the right person to make contact with regarding this. So thank you so much. I've had a couple of light bulb moments. I think my son might be allergic to something, maybe dust mites or something that I need to address. So hopefully this has helped everyone at home as well. Claudia, thank you so much, Professor. We really do appreciate your time.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for the invite.
Allergies can be a nightmare and have a significant effect on your daily life, making you miserable. But before you settle for artificial flowers, everybody, Allergex Non-Drowsy can assist with allergy relief for the entire day. We all deserve to enjoy life allergy-free.
100%.
Free to be you. Live, work, play, sleep, allergy-free with Allergex Non-Drowsy.
Hey guys, in 2 hours, I'll be with you on Twitter Live, Instagram and Facebook, talking about rigor in research. Tell all your postgraduate student friends.
But the truth of the matter is, you don't only find an office like that.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's a Monday morning. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, here on SABC3 at the start of a brand new week where we continue to honor incredible women all across our country, of course, all across the world as well. Now, long before Professor Mamokgethi Pakeng became only one of 2 black women to take on the position of Vice-Chancellor at the world-renowned University of Cape Town, she has been actively involved and dedicated in shaping mathematics education and research, and has been a keynote speaker at more than 40 international conferences, and was also the very first black woman to earn her PhD in mathematics education in 2002.
Now, the list of achievements certainly do not end there, and it's for this reason that this past Saturday she was awarded with the 2020 Toastmasters Communication and Leadership Award. She's joining us now via video call to share more about what this honor means to her. A very good morning to you, Professor Pakeng. How are you doing this morning? Looking radiant and gorgeous, might I add.
Thank you very much, Katleho and Kutle. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's such an honor. I actually just put the dress on top. I mean, African printed always looks gorgeous. Doesn't matter what time.
Absolutely. Now, a big congratulations on your award, Professor. I must ask you what it means to you to receive this recognition from such a renowned organization as Toastmasters.
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, a great deal. It was unexpected, and when they read the citation, I kept listening, and then because I kept wondering who could have nominated me, and it seemed to me that it's students who are in Toastmasters and at GCT, and what an honor. I don't consider myself an orator or a great speaker. Amazing speakers around the country and the world, and I was quite surprised that I was named because I remember many years ago wanting to join Toastmasters because communicating is a very important skill for any leadership position, but in academia communication is key. That's what we do. Besides doing your scholarly work, you've got to communicate it. So it was an honor.
It makes it even more special because you were nominated by the students, young people who look up to you for the work that you have been doing over the many years, which is truly incredible. And you've just touched on the importance of communication, particularly as an academic as well. What would you say, how would you expand on that note, why it's important to be a good orator, to be able to speak for yourself?
You know, in academia, when you're an academic, you do research, right? You do research, and I always say the luxury of academia is that you pursue questions that are of interest to you and hopefully of importance to society. But there is no point in doing the work, but you can't communicate it. So you communicate the work through your publications where people can read it. So it's important to know how to present your work in writing. But of course, you also communicate your work in speaking at conferences. Some people might have never read your publication, but they'll only meet your work for the first time when they hear you speak. And the way to draw people to seeing your work, to reading your work, to get an interest in your work is how you present it. And that's how people become the most sought after keynote speakers at academic conferences. Not everyone who's an academic becomes a sought-after keynote speaker. You become a sought-after keynote speaker because you communicate your work with such clarity that people not only enjoy the manner of presentation, but they get the gist of the work. And oftentimes it's research that you've done over years, even if it's 3 years, 4 years, sometimes it's 10, 15 years. You've got to bring it to the people listening within 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour. Not many people can do that, and it's a skill that's very important for any academic.
And then also just to reflect on the fact that you've won this award or received this award during a time such as this when we're all faced with these great challenges with ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, that must mean quite a great deal to you as well, you know, in the sense that you are a source of great inspiration to the country as well.
It means a great deal. I mean, it's a time of crisis, and actually, in a time such as this, of a crisis, of a pandemic, where we all are in uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen next week, whether with the pandemic, with the economy, with our jobs, and so on. Communication is key. So how do you keep the community together? Whether that community is the University of Cape Town, whether that community is the city or the country, it's very important how you keep the community together. Because when there isn't, and when we are not in lockdown, we connect, we touch, we hug, we whatever. But when we are in lockdown and in a state of crisis, uncertainty, and rapid change, what holds people is the message. But it's not just the message, it's how you as the leader communicate the message. People need to feel that they're in safe hands. It doesn't matter how you feel as a leader, but you've got to make people feel that they are led, that the future will be okay, that they are in good hands, you're making good decisions, that are in the interest of the institution, which means themselves rather than yourself. So it's important not to get sidetracked by noise or any other thing that comes as a threat in the time of crisis, but to be consumed by the opportunity that the crisis presents. Because any crisis, any pandemic presents danger and opportunity. And it is tempting sometimes to focus on the danger. You've got to focus on the opportunity so that people can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So it means a lot to get it at this time, where my kind of leadership is necessary.
Wow. Wow, absolute inspiration on this Monday morning. And Kuhle, I did hear that the annual awards for the most stylish Vice-Chancellor are afoot, and Professor Pakeng is duly nominated. But of course, right now as we reflect on another exciting achievement in the trailblazing career that is of Professor Pakeng, we'll also be continuing our discussion with her a little bit later on as we continue to find out more about the phenomenal mind inside UCT's renowned Vice-Chancellor.
Thank you so much, Kat and Kuhle. Of course, I definitely agree with you. The most stylish Vice-Chancellor indeed. Now, our very own Jamie Lee Domberg has been inspiring thousands of South Africans with her incredible weight loss journey. And now she decided to kickstart this journey in January this year, and since then experienced all the benefits of healthy eating, like increased energy levels and, of course, weight loss. And now this morning, Jamie will be taking us through our fitness workout this morning and showing us just exactly how she has stayed fit during this incredible lockdown journey. Jamie Lee Domberg.
Can we just say Stella finally got her groove back, Mama? This Mama's ready to slay. No, listen, it's been a crazy journey. I started with Kat. Kat was like, listen, you can't do sugar for 90 days. I was like, bring it on. And now it's just been a lifestyle. So I don't ever call it a diet. I call it a lifestyle change because it's so into me now. I know how to do it. But it is a journey, and it's so difficult, but you got to train your mind first. That's always what I say.
So you're speaking on the fact that you've educated yourself when it comes to the relationship with food, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure the viewers out there are obviously going to love the fact that we can educate them more, not only with food, but obviously with the exercises you've been doing. So I'm dying to obviously get to find out what it is that you have been doing all these years and share a little bit of those workouts with you that maybe everybody else can try and start their journey as well.
Absolutely. So I feel like you should always have fun with it. Whatever you do, make sure that it's something that you want to do absolutely every single day. So for me, something was moving. I come from a dancing background, so I always wanted to do something high tempo. So what I'm going to be taking you through today is going to be where I start. I start every day with a skipping rope.
Okay.
And it's so funny because Luca actually thinks it's for him, so I'm playing with him, but meanwhile, Mom is trying to snap the game back, you know what I mean? So we're going to start off with a skipping rope. If you don't have a skipping rope, it's absolutely fine. All you have to do is skip or jump on the spot. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be modifying it, and Raul will obviously be the more advanced. So it's going to be 3 levels.
Perfect.
Okay,
right.
so we're going to start with a skipping rope in hand. And are you ready?
I am ready.
3, 2, 1, go. And so you just jump it out. There we go.
I must just add to this because I love making sure that everybody gets all the tips that we can share on the show. And one thing when it comes to skipping especially, I would recommend everybody at home that is trying this out, make sure that you're not getting your heels on the ground when you're skipping. So stay on the forefront of your foot essentially, or stay on those toes, and that's really going to stimulate the calves quite a bit and get that core engagement going on, so we're not relying on the compression and relying on our joints so much to support us. How are you feeling there?
Perfect. And
this is just another day for you, right?
Yeah, this is the warm-up, okay? No, I'm joking. The best thing about this is as well, you can do it anywhere. Whether you're busy going to the grocery store, if you're just standing there or whatever, you just hop it out. So that you can do it anywhere. So
how long would you skip for? Because I recommend to clients or anyone that's skipping for a warm-up, I mean, around 45 seconds to a minute is always really good to get you warm and get you ready. What is your sort of like a factor when it comes to skipping?
I don't have a time base, so like as much time as I have left during the day, or if I have a 30-minute break between Lucas feeds or nap time, that's where I'm going to do it.
She's hustling the skips,
I'm just like, where we go, you know? So the next one we're going to do is high knees. Okay, so you're going to do the advanced one. And if you at home have back problems like I have as well, we just kick it up, lift it up, and you're gonna go full twist. So you're ready? So high knees and go. There we go.
All right, so I'm putting some more tempo into this one. Of course, Jamie, just watching you on the side there, I can see the stimulation of the core. I can see the stimulation of the arms, everything when it comes to cardio, but at a lighter level, I think you got that nailed. Anyone else that wants that extra challenge, of course, you want to get your sweat on and you'll be doing this for a few days and you're really well into your fitness journey, then try my version out of the high knees. Once again, it's similar to skipping. Ooh, losing breath here. Can't even talk. Just like skipping, of course, get the heels of the ground. Calves are burning. Everything else in my body's burning as well. I'm ready to get it going now, Jamie.
Absolutely. And then the next I want to do is, and this is what I incorporate every day, it's a jump squat, okay? So we're going to jump in, up, out, and you're going to pulse it out for 2 seconds. So jump, jump, and in. Jump, jump, and in.
Okay, so you're squatting on the jump as well.
Squat,
and then squat.
Squat, squat. And this burns. I promise you, a minute of this, you are going to be crying. You'll be like, do I even need to do this? But I promise you, it is so good for you. Again, we're getting that heart rate up, and all you need is about 30 minutes a day of this, anywhere, anytime. Make sure it is a lifestyle and that you just follow along with it. And most importantly, have fun. How are you feeling?
I'm absolutely burning now. I'm starting to figure out where the secrets are coming in, and I must just say, what you're doing here is brilliant. It's a tempo style when it comes to a jump squat as well. So you're doing eccentric loading, you're doing a tempo style load, and there's also a little bit of intensity, so it's got a cardio element to it as well.
Absolutely.
So clearly, all this burn I'm feeling in my legs, and anyone else out there at home trying this as well, you're doing the things, you're doing this right. That is what tempos do to you. Oh, it's a killer.
Okay, so this is the last one, and we're going to sit down for this one.
All right.
And again, because I'm a mama, I have the mom tummy, I got the pouch, so I always try to work on a core, because a good core, you can do all your exercises.
Yes.
So what we're going to do, put it out, we're going to hold.
You got us doing some V holds out here.
Absolutely.
I love this one. It stimulates the hip flexors, stimulates the core, of course, and it gets you magazine, muscle, ready. Oh, I love this. Now, Jamie, clearly you have wrapped it up when it comes to these exercises, ticked all the boxes. I love how you're including these upper body elements, lower body elements. You've got the cardio factor, you've got the tempo, and I think this is really showing me exactly how you've gotten this incredible figure. But there's one thing you're missing out on, of course. You've got to make sure you get your post-nutrition in. So full macro balance, you know what it is. Enjoy it.
It's 80% diet or lifestyle food change and 20% working out. So once this is good, you guys are good, okay? So maybe try that at home. Let us know what you think about that. And again, happy eating, everybody.
Yes.
You only have one skin. Nourish it and wear it bravely.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. It's been a beautiful way to kickstart the week, and it's just going to elevate even further. It's a Gospel Monday, and we love them here on Expresso. So last week, we challenged you to sing your own rendition of Falling in Love with Jesus. That was performed, of course, by the incomparable Jared Ricketts, who is about to warm up the vocal cords again. And we have another entry. This time, it's Coral Mackerel Boitches, all the way from Parow. Let's take a little listen.
Falling in love with Jesus. Falling in love with Jesus.
Yes, man, that was amazing. Thank you so much. Well done. Please enter again this week. That was superb. I love putting your own spin on it. Absolutely amazing. Well done. Well, Jared, I think is pretty proud of that performance, and he is here accompanied, of course, by Roderick McKay, presented with 3 songs, their options to keep our spirits uplifted this Women's Month. So we've continued to track your votes. We've counted them, and this morning we have our top 2 songs. Here they are, the winning songs chosen by you, our viewers. And the winning songs this week are To God Be the Glory and My Life Is in Your Hands. I think 2 worthy winners there. We hope these performances keep you in good spirits. And don't forget, we want you to, like Carol did, sing along and record your performance. Please, if you can give us your own rendition, To God Be the Glory, and post it on our social media pages with your video. We could be playing it out live on Expresso next week, Monday, just like we did with Carol. But now it's time for the performance for today. Jared, Rod, take it away.
This morning we want to give God the glory. Great things He has done. To God be the glory. Great things He has done. So loved He the world that He gave us His Son, who yielded His life and atonement for sin, and opened the life gate that all may go in. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Oh, let the earth hear His voice. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give Him the glory. Great things He has done. Oh, perfect redemption, the purchase of blood to every believer, the promise of God, the vilest offender who truly believes, the moments from Jesus, a pardon received. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Oh, let the earth hear His voice. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Oh, let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give Him the glory. Great things He has done. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Oh, let the earth hear His voice. Oh, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give Him the glory. Great things He has done, and give Him the glory. Great things He has done. Hallelujah.
Wow. Well, hopefully that's set the tone for the rest of your Monday morning, and we'd love to hear your version of that. Please post us a video on our social media platforms, and who knows, we might be playing you out live, just like Carol this morning. Wasn't she good, eh? She was really,
amazing.
Really good. Maybe we'll invite you into studio one day. But gentlemen, thank you so much. As always, pure class, and hopefully that's inspired you as well.
Welcome back. It is a Monday morning. This is your Feel Good Breakfast show, and it is so good to be once again joined by the celebrated and charming and oh so cool Professor Mamokgethi Pakeng, who was recently honored with the 2020 Toastmasters Communication and Leadership Award. Now, it's not lost on all of us that she received this honor in the midst of Women's Month, and so we're diving deeper into understanding her phenomenal mind and her passion for education, which began all the way back in her university days in the 1980s. Professor Pakeng, we're looking at a picture of you now, back in varsity days, just looking like you're having the most fabulous time. Even is that a football gear that I'm seeing? Unbelievable.
Girls soccer team, yes.
What? Soccer team. Okay, I've got to ask, what position did you play? 11. Ha la la.
What's
the
11?
Speed. So that would be typically like your left winger. So that's the player running up and down, chasing those attacking runs.
Oh,
that's unbelievable.
Professor, do you watch soccer now? Which team do you support? Which team do you support in soccer? Guys, look at the disappointment on Kataro's face, Professor.
I tell you what, Professor, we want to hear everything. We want to hear everything that you have to say perfectly and clearly, and right now we are experiencing a little bit of a technical issue, so we're going to reassign all of our analogs and algorithms behind the scenes in the cameras, and we're going to return back with you in a short second. But thank you very much for staying with us. Do not go too far away as we continue to dive into the mind of Professor Mamokgethi Pakeng, who we've just discovered, wow, number 11. Helman Kelele. On the left, hey, greatness all around.
An inspiration to all of us, to all the women out there. And of course, on our social media today, we wanted to find out, like, if you were a mother to a daughter, what words would you just encourage them with to be strong and brave? And we got so many comments that came through.
Yes. We got the first one coming in from Elise Neetling. And of course, like we spoke about earlier, being a mom, guys, we have to acknowledge is an extreme sport. Let's just get that out the way. So Elise says, morning, I have 4 beautiful daughters, and by the grace of God, they are fearfully and wonderfully blessed. Always very humble, generous, and helpful towards others. And as a mom, I can truly say what you sow, you will reap, and I am really blessed. Oh, what beautiful
words.
words.
So beautiful, Elise. I love that. And then we have another one from Charlene Mayer saying, morning, ever since I can remember, I've been teaching my daughter independence, love, respect, and empathy for herself and others. She's brave and strong enough to walk away from people and situations that does not build or benefit her in any way. I love that. In life, she has become a very strong adult. I'm more than proud of her. She's very successful and goes after what she wants. Unstoppable, just like her mom. I salute her. Absolutely love it.
Words. I love all this inspiration, the fact that it's, of course, Women's Month. It's the perfect timing and the perfect message to all of you women out there, of course, to just take it and run with it indeed.
Yes,
we're celebrating again. It's Monday. We've got so much magic coming up, so stay tuned in for more.
What's better than a sugar-coated, deliciously crispy golden brown donut and 100% Arabica beans brewed to perfection? Treat yourself and warm up your morning with a little sweetness from McCafe with the all-new mini donut and cappuccino offer. A little lovin' doesn't have to cost a lot. Great coffee, simple.
welcome back once again to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Happy Monday, if nobody said it to you yet, and it is an exceptionally happy Monday for us as we continue to link up with Professor Mamokgethi Pakeng. You'll remember that earlier on we spoke to her about an incredible achievement where she was recently honoured with the 2020 Toastmasters Communication and Leadership Award, and we were lucky enough just a couple of minutes ago to reflect on some of her days in university where she cultivated her love for education and her passion for mathematics, and just all round being an inspiration for us. And we continue our chat with her right now. Thanks for sticking around with us, Professor Pakeng.
Thanks very much, Kat. Thank you.
Professor, we touched on your dress a little later on, but right now we are going to unpack the fashionable side of who you are. Why is being fashionable such an important part of who you are, Professor?
You know, the truth of the matter is that I don't go all out to be fashionable. I support local. So many years ago, I almost said a few years ago, but I thought you are as old as I am. Many years ago, I discovered that actually it is possible to buy clothes from the store that fit perfectly. Because as an African woman, I've got a small waist. And good African assets, if you know what I mean.
Yes,
right. And it's very difficult to get clothes. I mean, things have changed. People don't know how hard it used to be to get into a store. If it fits on your thighs or African assets, it doesn't fit your waist. The waist is too big. Everything was just never right. I mean, and that's in my view, decolonization has happened. In a way, it's happening because of the fashion industry, if you like. So I walked into Stone Sherry. That was the time when Stone Sherry and Sun Goddess came into the play, right? And I walked into Stone Sherry. I took a skirt, put it on. It fitted perfectly. I was like, wow. So there are shops where I can get a skirt that fits, that doesn't need altering at all. I walked into Sun Goddess, it was the same. But then they were owned by young Black African women. They knew our bodies. They had the fabric that worked, colorful and everything. The style worked and the fitting worked. I got addicted. From that time, I decided this is the only place, this is the only way I'm going to dress. So I started dressing Sun Goddess, Stone Sherry over and over again. They knew me. I would walk in, buy earrings, everything from them.
Wow.
And then I realized actually it's cheaper. And then it's so versatile. I mean, I can wear African print to the store, to work, to the funeral, to a wedding. It still looks good. You know, so that's why. So I'm not trying to be fashionable. I'm just trying to be. At first, I was just trying to get things that fit, and then it went on. Well, it's affordable. I must keep with the affordability. Then I realized, oh, okay, actually, there's more young Black people who do this thing. So support local. I buy Black. I buy local. I support young entrepreneurs. So all my clothes are made locally. I get now earrings. I even have skin products, hair products, everything made locally, mainly by young Black entrepreneurs.
Wow.
What a pleasure.
The whole Pakeng lifestyle right about there. But let's talk about the other inspiration that you constantly are giving to us through your various initiatives that you are involved in as well. There is the hashtag Make Education Fashionable. There's hashtag Khedi Pakeng Scholarship. And then also your hashtag Past 3 a.m. Squad Sessions. Absolutely incredible that you even find time in a 24-hour day to do all of those things.
Well, I get up anytime from 3 o'clock. Between 3 o'clock and 3:30, I get out of bed. And it started probably 2014. I realized that there are so many young people who send me messages, need help, how do I do this? I thought, well, they might as well get into my routine. And my routine starts at around past 3 a.m. So I started the hashtag Past 3 a.m. Squad. I start with an inspiration. I used to do it every day. And then the students started to grow because I was saying to them, let's get on and do this. You can do this. You've got goals. Let them keep you awake. The community grew until one day, this young man who's doing a PhD at UJ was so honored. I said to him, from now on, you are the CEO of the Past 3 AM squad. You are going to do this thing that I'm doing. And this is part of mentoring online. I had never met him, but he'd been one of the people who wakes up with me because I would put the wake up inspiration. They would come on board to say, I'm awake, I'm doing this, they would share what they're doing. And of course, when I became VC, I was just too busy. I said to him, Charles, you're going to do this. We support people who are studying at university. We answer their questions. We point them to resources. We inspire them because it's tough out there and I can't do it alone. The community grew. Now we have Charles as the CEO, and last year we got Momo as the COO. We've got Monde as the tag-along. So they are sort of the leadership of the Past 3 AM squad. I talk to them every 2 or 3 weeks. On a Saturday, we catch up on Zoom. By the way, I have never met Momo. Monde says I kept him. I don't remember because when I'm at university keeping students, there are so many during graduation, I don't remember. And I had to make an effort to meet Charles when I was in Joburg 2-3 years ago, after I pronounced him as CEO. But it's amazing what online presence does. We continue to inspire, to answer questions. Now I do sessions on Sundays from 4 to 5 for students, for emerging academics, for anyone who's interested in an academic career or involved in academics. And it's a growing community. It's not just in South Africa, it's all over the continent, it's all over the world. There are students and young academics in India, in Ireland, in Canada who log on to join us on this journey. The Make Education Fashionable, hashtag Make Education Fashionable, we do it every year on the 1st of December, 1st, 2nd of December. And it's encouraging everyone who's achieved to share their story. And the idea here is everyone has a story. It doesn't matter what it is. Whether it was a story of things were tough academically or family-wise or emotionally or financially, you don't get to graduation without a story. It ends in triumph, but we want people to share their story so that everyone knows that the journey is not necessarily meant to be easy. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But you getting your degree, you're amongst the few. And so you must share your story to encourage others to take on the challenge. So my hashtags are about inspiration and giving hope, mainly to young people. I am on social media to inspire and give hope to young people. And that's why I do the hashtags.
Oh, my goodness. I really wish that we could spend all of our 3 hours of the show chatting to you, Professor. It is an absolute honor and a privilege, and especially during this time when we are looking towards incredible women to inspire us. You are exactly that. And just before we go and say goodbye, I just wanted to test out whether, how does the title Madam President sit with you? Yes. Okay.
That's a yes.
You know,
that's a yes.
No. I think it sounds good, but not for me. I'm a great support for anyone in leadership, you know? So please, if you can convince someone to take it, they should call on me. I'll be the rah-rah. I'm very good with that. We'll make the country work. You need soldiers everywhere, you know?
Dream of a future, maybe Tulima Donzela, ex-Mamokgeti Pakeng. Da! Radisela. Thank you very much for your time, Professor. Have a wonderful Monday.
Thank you so much, Katlego. Thank you so much for inviting me, and have a good day.
Oh, man. Well, there you go. Monday motivation sorted out. Let's catch up with the news.
Thanks so much, team. Now let's kick it off with our national news. A trial run for South Africa's first ever digital census begins today. Statistics South Africa said yesterday that it would test online and telephonic data collection in a trial run until the 6th of September. In the 2021 census, respondents would be allowed to complete census questionnaires on their own or with the telephonic assistance of Stats SA call center agents. In hopes that increased cell phone and technology use would allow more people to participate in the census. census and minimize the challenge of reaching communities that are hard to access. Then, as the country celebrated Women's Day yesterday, President Cyril Ramaphosa expressed sadness that more women and children were being abused and losing their lives at the hands of men. The president said this year South Africa was in the grip of two pandemics, the coronavirus pandemic and the scourge of gender-based violence. Ramaphosa added that South Africa had joined Generation Equality, a global campaign to achieve gender equality by 2030. He said women need to be empowered and that the government would set aside 40% of public procurement for businesses owned by women. On the international front, Brazil has now recorded more than 100,000 deaths linked to COVID-19, the world's second highest figure. That as the outbreak in the country shows no signs of abating. The virus has killed some 50,000 people in just 3 months, but that number has now doubled in just 50 days. There have been more than 3 million confirmed cases thus far. The pandemic is yet to peak, but shops and restaurants have already reopened. America still leads the world with more than 5 million confirmed COVID-19 cases and more than 163,000 deaths. Then France is sending specialist teams and equipment to help Mauritius deal with a fuel spill from a bulk carrier that ran aground on a pristine coral reef 2 weeks ago and threatens to become an ecological disaster. Greenpeace said the fuel and oil leak into nearby lagoons threatened the survival of thousands of species which were at risk of drowning in a sea of pollution. Greenpeace also added that it is one of the most terrible ecological crises ever seen on the small island country. And now, a snippet of news most appropriate for Women's Day. The NSRI, the non-profit organization dedicated to saving lives on South African coastal and inland waters, has just acquired its first female Class 1 coxswain. She is Carmen Long of Station 8 in Hout Bay. Go for it is Long's simple motto when it comes to achieving what has not been done before. And this is exactly what this energetic 52-year-old did when she was offered the opportunity to become the first woman in the NSRI's illustrious history to qualify as a Class 1 coxswain. So Class 1 qualifies a person to operate rescue vessels more than 9 meters in length, but under 25 tons and with an onboard diesel-driven engine. Long also serves as training officer and admin person at Station 8 in Hout Bay. Multi-talented, one of the busiest NSRI stations due to the bustling fishing harbour, obviously. The NSRI was founded by pioneering woman Patty Price in 1966, following the tragic deaths of fishermen off Still By. But the NSRI has never had a female Class 1 coxswain before. That is up until now, so congratulations. Then finally, taking another quick look at what's happening in the world of entertainment. If superstar basketball player Stephen Curry had any dreams of his eldest daughter Riley following in his footsteps, it seems like he can dream on. A video posted by Stephen's wife Aisha on her Instagram has had social media showering praise on the 8-year-old for her incredible dancing skills. The video shows Riley standing on the bed of a bakkie while her younger sister, 5-year-old Ryan, sits on the tail as they both lip-sync to Beyonce's song Already. Of course, the music video, which recently debuted as part of the visual album Black is King. Riley then proceeds to execute the choreography from the film to near perfection, displaying that the youngster could seriously consider a future career as a performer. It's fitting that the theme of the song she is dancing to is about claiming the crown that we are all destined to take. So hopefully that inspires you on this Monday morning. That's where we leave our headlines for now. Let's delve a little deeper into some momentous sports. Well, history was made yesterday in motorsport as South Africa's Brad Binder won his first MotoGP race at the Czech Grand Prix in only his third outing in the Premier class. Even President Cyril Ramaphosa congratulated Binder on the win after he became the first ever South African to win a MotoGP race in history. The 24-year-old, who celebrates his birthday this week, who rides for a team factory KTM, finished ahead of Petronas Yamaha's Franco Morbidelli, also making it onto the podium for the first time, and Frenchman Johan Zarco on a Ducati Aventure. Then completing a good week for Red Bull in motorsports, their driver Max Verstappen won the British Grand Prix at the 70th anniversary of Formula One. That was at the iconic Silverstone circuit, ahead of Mercedes teammates Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas yesterday. This was the 22-year-old Dutchman's first win of the season and Red Bull's first victory ever at Silverstone, or at least since 2012. Then on to rugby. The Crusaders have done it. They've won the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition after claiming a 32-22 win over the Highlanders at the Orange Theory Stadium in Christchurch early yesterday morning. The Crusaders stormed back into the match in the final quarter after the Highlanders, and they really were on form, led at halftime. A brace by winger George Bridge helping the Crusaders clinch the match and walk away as the overall tournament winners with a game to spare. The other Aotearoa fixture, the Hurricanes, beat the winners Chiefs 31-18. And football was reignited back in South Africa in Mamelodi Sundowns. They've booked their place in the Nedbank Cup final. That was after registering a 3-2 win over Bidvest Wits at the Orlando Stadium on Saturday. Masandwana will face Bloemfontein Celtic in the final. That was after they thrashed a 10-man Baraka FC 3-0. So this is the first time in 35 years that Celtic have made the final. They certainly do enter as outside favourites. Then on to a grander stage. UEFA Champions League action continued this weekend with Bayern Munich recording an emphatic 4-1 win over Chelsea and Barcelona beating Napoli 3-1. So Barcelona and Bayern will now face each other in the quarterfinals this coming Friday. In other results, Manchester City edged La Liga winners Real Madrid 2-1 to advance to the last eight, and Juventus, they beat Lyon 2-1 on the night, but Lyon advance on away goals. Lyon will be up against Manchester City in the quarterfinal draw. That's where we leave our sport for today. Let's take one last look at the weather.
Here's a recap of today's sunrise pictures. Elaine took us to Ocean View with this stunning picture. It's going to be a cloudy day for you, Elaine, today, but I hope that you have a fantastic Monday morning, and thank you for your sunrise picture. Zoliswa came through for Johannesburg with this multicolored sky. Zoliswa, it's going to be a very good day in Johannesburg. Namhlanje, thank you for your sunrise picture. Kolinda shared this one from Umkomaz with a very inspirational caption that encourages all women across South Africa to rise above all the challenges that come their way and to rise and shine like the sunrise pictures that we have been looking at. And finally, Louise G. Sherry posted the stunning sunrise picture from Alberton. Thank you all to our beautiful women for sharing in your sunrise pictures. I hope that you have a great day further. Now, as the Western Cape is set for probably a wet and cold week, China is dealing with the worst flooding in more than 20 years across vast swaths from its southwestern interior to east coast, turning roads into rivers. Since June, some 4 million people have been displaced or evacuated because of floods. One of the major problems is that dams which provide hydropower and drinking water to nearby cities are built in rivers. But during extreme rains, authorities are obliged to suddenly release the water, thus flooding villages. Experts predict that storms are going to be more intense in future years and warn China as well as other countries with significant waterways, including the United States, that they will face greater flood risks and that engineers will increasingly have to make a careful calculus about where to release water or risk a dam collapse. Let's get into the final temperatures for the rest of the country. Polokwane, a low of 5 degrees, reaching a high of 25 degrees. Mbombela, 11:27, sunny day for you, Mbombela. Pretoria, your maximum for the day is 22 degrees. Johannesburg started off the morning at a low of 4, reaching a high of 19. Mahikeng, 4:24. Klerksdorp, your temperatures range from 0 to 20. Kimberley, it's a sunny day at a maximum of 18. Bloemfontein, -2, reaching a maximum of 18. Richards Bay, 11:23. Pietermaritzburg, your low is 5 degrees, reaching a high of 21. Durban with a minimum temperature of 12, reaching a maximum of 23. Tata, you start off your morning on a low of 1 degrees and will reach an afternoon temperature of 20. East London, 15 is your morning temperature and 21 will be your afternoon temperature. Cradock, -1, 18. Port Elizabeth, a partly cloudy day at a low of 13 and will reach a maximum of 19. George, 8, 19. It's a rainy day in Cape Town, 55% chance of rain rather, at a low of 10 degrees, reaching a high of 15. Worcester 517, Sutherland a partly cloudy day 213, and Uppington your low is 1, reaching a high of 18. That was the final look at the weather this morning. Now remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day.
You know what time it is, of course. We're keeping that feel-good flowing and going. And now the Woolworths Fuller Bag campaign has been met with massive positivity and, of course, by the grace of South African public during this very testing time. Now the willingness of citizens to help I must agree, it's an absolute shining torch indeed, Jamie. Yeah. And it's great to allow for hope and change for those who are most in need. And so far, we have translated in saving or generating 800,000 meals, which have successfully been donated. And now to further the cause and make our most current crew donation is Chef Clem Pedro's better half, Megan. Let's check it out.
So Clem challenged me to do my part and make a difference with Gift of the Givers and Woolies. I'm going to show you how simple and easy it is. Snap scan, make your donation, 500 Rand. It's as easy and simple as that. I challenge you to make a difference too.
Oh, bless your heart, Megan. It is so inspiring to see, how willingly you, South Africa, have jumped into action and been able to, help those in need. Again, thanks to these continuous and ongoing efforts, Woolies has managed to raise 2,370,140 Rand. Can we just? What this means is this equates to a total of 803,437 meals out of the 1 million meal goal. We just need 20,000 South Africans to donate 10 Rand each to achieve our goal. Again, thanks to Megan for your inspiring donation, taking us one step closer to the million meal mark. And now we're challenging you to do the same.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. It has been an inspirational day today, and I'm hoping especially that all of our female viewers have found it empowering. We have connected with some amazing people today, and we want to continue on that trend right now. Now, one thing that is always certain is that the times are always changing, and some of the lessons we still teach our children about life do not always reflect those changes. I'm finding this out as a parent every day, having much uncertainty when it comes to parenting. It's difficult. It's very challenging now more than ever before, in a time where so much information is so easily accessible, having an influence in shaping our children and who they become and who they grow into. It's going to become vital that we inform that conversation. So today we are asking, how do we raise strong, confident girls and respectful boys in these modern times? And I have a girl and a boy, so I'm really interested in this conversation this morning. We are joined by, in studio, finally, to have her back in studio, yay, relationship architect, Shelley Lewand, to help us discuss this topic. And we'd love to hear your questions, your comments, your advice as well. Please give us a call, 021 110 552, and we'll engage directly with you, Shelley. Welcome back. Even though we've got to keep our distance, it's so good to see you in person.
Thank you. It's really awesome to be here.
We live in a time of, social media and so much information in the internet. And I'm pretty sure it can be very difficult for parents to navigate parenthood with so much they bombarded with on the socials. How is parenting now different from back like 40, 50 years ago?
Is it more difficult now?
Well, look, I wasn't parenting 40, 50 years ago. But I have had some conversations around it. And I think that there's pros and cons, of course. So some of the benefits are that as a parent, if you're struggling with any specific difficulty or issue, you now have easily accessible global information. So you can ask parents from other sides of the world and find parenting forums where you can have conversations asking anything. But the other side to it is that it can really create a lot of self-doubt in, am I being the perfect parent? And social media, there's this perfectionistic image.
It's not real.
Yes.
It can't be real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have this, am I meeting the standards? And then, the other side is that children are exposed to things and concepts and topics a lot earlier than what they would have been previously. And we can also quite easily plonk our children in front of the TV and it becomes the babysitter instead of where I think, of course, 40, 50 years ago, you didn't have that. So you had to be much more interactive and involved and engaged in your children's lives and doing things with them and playing soccer or going outside. And I think that might be one of the biggest differences is the engagement levels and knowing in some ways what's going on with your children. Cyberbullying, that didn't exist. So, and unless you have a really open conversation or the environment, a culture in your family where you're having ongoing conversations, you wouldn't know what's going on in your children's lives with all their whole double life that happens online.
And forget it, we're not just talking about Fortnite. and I mean, these things are massive influences in our children's lives. I'm going to speak from the perspective of being a new dad to a daughter. I grew up in an all-female, was privileged enough to grow up in an all-female household, which is something I'm now realizing was an actual blessing. But I'm terrified of having those conversations with my daughter. The subject of gender-based violence. At what point do we start having those very difficult discussions with our children? When will I be ready to talk to my daughter? When will she be ready to be able to grapple with those really difficult, especially when it comes to gender-based violence? Because that's got to be surely the biggest conversation we're having in this country right now.
Yeah, look, it's an incredibly emotive topic. And I think that any difficult conversation, and so I don't want to just label it gender-based violence, it's almost like any challenging topic, whether you're talking sexuality, also not easy conversations to have, or race or gender identity, all of those, there needs to be ongoing conversations happening in your home. So if you can have a culture in your home where we talk to each other, where you can come and talk to me about anything, anytime, about anything, and I'm open and approachable and I'm not authoritarian about it, like this is how it is and this is what you need to think and this is how you need to feel, that you can be exploratory about it. So what have you heard? What do you think about it? Well, this is my opinion. And you mentor and guide and you can you ask for their opinion and what have they heard. And so you asked about when, and I think it's a tricky one because some kids are more mature than others. So I wouldn't want to introduce a conversation unless you felt like they had seen or heard something and they were raising it, wouldn't impose it. You know, if they're at the age where they have the awareness of it, then you can talk about it. The other key thing, I think, is that we don't teach by what we say, we teach by what we do.
Yeah.
So you need to be the example or exemplar in your home for how men treat women. You don't talk about it and then do something completely different.
Sure.
You know, and you want to be teaching your girl, female children, all children, like let's not even separate it with gender, is that to have empathy for other human beings. You know, you want to be raising your children to be empathic, and you have to be an exemplar for that. So you have to demonstrate empathy. If you're not empathic, how are you going to teach them in a conversation to be that? So you're talking about how are you feeling, to being able to say sorry. You want to build that emotional intelligence, you know, that they hear these kinds of conversations or words, and I'm sorry, and I shouldn't have said that, and it was inappropriate, and they see you relating to mom, the way that you're engaging with her in a respectful way, that what they see is how you want them to behave and to be treating each other.
And, you know, we've just, I suppose, had it all in bucket loads over lockdown, where we've been forced into this, like, tiny, close, nuclear, you know, family. And it's been a great opportunity to test those relationships, but also grow ourselves. We're going to continue this discussion, a lot of food for thought today, as we look at raising empowered children, respectful young men, and confident and powerful young women in these modern times. And we'd love to hear your questions or any comments that you have. And Shirley's going to stick around to answer any questions as well. So give us a call, 021 110 5552. We'd love to engage with you.
I think it's fair to say that women, just like the Protea, flourish and flower despite difficult conditions. And Valcare, a non-profit organization that operates in the Cape Winelands, is aiming to honor the many women within the Cape Winelands who are making a difference in their communities through their Proteas of the Valley initiative. Liani Jansen van Vieren joins us to tell us more about this initiative. Good morning, Liani. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Take us through it. Tell us a bit more about what the Proteas of the Valley initiative is all about and how it all started for you guys.
So yes, Valcare started the Proteas of the Valley initiative about 8 years ago. And we just had this vision to honor and celebrate everyday women who are making an amazing difference in their communities. They may not be celebrities, they may not have high ranks in big corporate buildings, but they are the true pillars of our society by offering their lives to help others.
I love that every female is a queen in her own right, but how exactly do you guys go about honoring these selected women?
So the public gets invited every year to nominate inspirational women that they think deserve to be a Protea of the Valley. We then get an independent selection committee to go through the very difficult task of only selecting 15 women, and they then get honored by sharing their stories with the world. We share their beautiful photographs, we share their written stories, and this year we're also sharing their videos. And you won't believe how inspirational and hopeful it is to other women who are going through difficult circumstances, to give them hope that they can also accomplish something despite where they come from or their circumstances.
Absolutely. It's all about sharing the inspiration and making sure that you're lifting someone else up when you're telling your story. But maybe you can tell us about one or two of the women who have been selected to be Proteas of the Valley for 2020.
Well, that's a difficult thing to single out one lady. But I think top of mind is Deline Minnie. So Deline has been a nurse for 44 years, and then after her long shift has ended, she goes home and volunteers her time in the evenings to run a drug rehabilitation group. And she's seen more than 30 youth now clean of drugs just because she loves to help others. And then she also had to take care of her husband for 30 years, who was diagnosed with a very rare condition. And she had a shoulder operation because of the physical labor of helping others. And there are numerous other things that she does for the community. It's just incredible that one lady can do so many things so unselfishly.
And I'm so sorry for putting you on the spot there, just singling out one of these women. But this is, of course, just a facet of the work done by Valcare, which is, of course, a non-profit organization that coordinates a variety of inspiring social impact projects in the Cape Winelands. But maybe you can tell us a bit more about the work that you specifically do with regards to this initiative.
Yes, so Valke is a non-profit organization who aims to ensure that all social efforts in the Cape Winelands have an actual impact. And by that I'm saying that we take every facet from social investment, CSI projects, foundations that want to donate money. We make sure that that money goes to the right projects, that it is sustainable, well spent and responsible. And then we also have a membership network of hundreds of non-profit organizations in the Cape Winelands to make sure that they have a collective, stronger impact in the community. And then under that, we also have a lot of initiatives and projects like the Proteas of the Valley.
I can't help but smile just hearing all of this. But of course, so many people might want to follow this journey. Where can they do so? And maybe watch some of the inspirational videos you were speaking about.
Yes, I would encourage everyone to go to Valke's Facebook page and Instagram page throughout August, Women's Month. And every second day we are sharing a new video with inspiration, and I can promise you it will encourage you, and especially in these dark times, it will lift you up, it will give you hope, and just take you through this season.
Well, listen, we are definitely inspired by our conversation with you this morning. Thank you so much for your time, Leonie Jansen van Vuren.
Thanks so much for having me. It was a privilege.
Stay with us as we'll be chatting with one of the community heroes who've been highlighted in this year's Proteas of the Valley initiative.
Pakeng. So I'm chatting to Umalume Musa here. He's owned a small clothing factory for years now, and he's always inspired me with his success. But like a lot of businesses, this lockdown's hit him hard. So he spoke to his banker, and they've put together a tailor-made relief solution for him to help his business and his people get through this. Making your bank your business partner, that's a habit worth keeping.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Earlier, we spoke to Leonie Jansen van Vuren from Valke, a non-profit organization that coordinates a variety of inspiring social impact projects in the Cape Winelands. And for Women's Month, they are honoring local women who have endured hardships and trauma but have risen above it to become pillars of strength within their communities. And one of those community heroes, a Protea of the Valley for 2020, is Henriette Claassen. Now, Henriette joined us now to tell us a bit more of her story. Good morning, Henriette. Thank you so much for choosing to wake up with us on your Feel Good Breakfast show this morning.
Hi, good morning, and thank you for having me.
Our absolute pleasure. But what does it mean to you to be named as a Protea of the Valley for 2020?
Oh, it's a real honor to be a Protea of the Valley in 2020. I do things in the community through my organization, and it's really inspiring, and it's really hard. It's heartwarming for other people to see what I do and to recognize and approve what I do in the community. And giving me this award is so amazing, and I'm so honored to receive this award.
Oh, bless your heart. Now, we know that you come from difficult circumstances growing up with all sorts of challenges. Maybe tell us a bit more about that and what made you rise above it.
Oh, my childhood upbringing was a struggle. It was really difficult growing up. The area where I'm from is called the Flitser, and there's a lot of gangsterism and poverty, and people are really struggling. So for me, I had to overcome. I had no choice to overcome my struggles and fears and difficulties in my life. And when I overcame that, I saw that I need to help my people in the community, and I had to become that person that helps other people.
And it's not where you come from, but where you're going. And today you're making such a big difference in your community. Tell us about your organization called Renew Your Mind. What was the message behind this, and what is the goal with regards to your project?
Oh, Renew Your Mind is my baby. Oh, I love this organization so much. The goal and the vision is to create a better life for all of us and to help the children in my community. We have an aftercare, and we do one-on-one support, educational support with the kids after school. And it's also a safe place for the children to come after school, because most of the parents are working. And now we also started a soup kitchen with the COVID-19 pandemic. We started a soup kitchen to fight the fight against hunger. And we also have a clothing bank now, because our community is poverty-stricken, and I have to help them.
What is the one thing that keeps you going? What motivates you to continuously, show love and compassion towards others in these challenging times?
Oh, this is really tough times. And what motivates me, love motivates me to give love. And there's a lot of broken people, broken families, broken homes out there, especially in my community. And absent fathers also plays a role in the upbringing of the children here. And the children, they need a positive role model. And they need somebody to guide them and show them the way forward. And if you can just change one child's mindset and support that child and take that child on the right track and just be there for that child.
I absolutely love that, and you're definitely a role model, not only in your community, but for all of us watching and just hearing your story. But if you had maybe just one word of advice to women out there who are feeling that, they want to give up, what would that be for you?
Never give up. Never give up. If you feel lonely or you struggle, just find somebody, tell your story, get somebody to listen to you, and get somebody to support you. There's so much organizations out there and helplines out there that people can phone, and if somebody just can hear you, we all of us just need an ear, that somebody can hear us and support us. But never give up, and go on your knees and pray. There's power in prayer.
Amen. Well, Henriette, thank you so much for sharing your story with South Africa. You certainly deserve all the honor and recognition that there is out there. So again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Along with the other 14 women highlighted in the Proteas of the Valley Initiative 2020, you can watch Henriette's and other women's stories on their Facebook page up on our screen right now.
Thank you so much, Jamie and Leonia. Of course, so much empowerment when it comes to today, and empowering right through this Monday morning. Now, of course, we're back in the kitchen where everybody loves, and I know they do, a warm, hearty and comforting meal. Now, especially when it's on a budget, and of course, when it's completely vegan as well. Now, this Be Well mushroom risotto is a gift that keeps on giving. And not only is it made up of a standard set of everyday ingredients like canola oil, rice, onions, and mushrooms, I think, but It's also crammed with flavor and it feeds an entire family. So by cutting out the meat, you are preserving both your budget and of course the environment. And of course, Nature Boy approves this with every single bite. So Jenny Morris, I'm ready to do the things. It's a meat-free Monday dish, which I am absolutely loving. You know, Nature Boy approves of this. And I see you already got it going. You're dipping some oil up in the pan there.
I've got some canola going, and darling, I'm going to empower you because every boy can make one of these.
Yes, bring it on. I need this empowerment right now. I'm lacking in the kitchen array of options when it comes to meals.
Mama can teach you.
Mama feed.
Mama can teach you. Now what I've got here is I've got our mushrooms and our celery, and I'm adding these beautiful, it's a lovely medley of mushrooms. It's got some shiitakes. You can use any that you want.
Jenny, I must just say, I'm assuming the pan is like striking hot.
It's not striking hot, but it's hot enough, you know, and it's got this lovely canola in, which is all lacquer and local, you know, no GMA, as you know.
Yes.
Now, the important thing here is to just get that onion nice and translucent. That means you can almost see through it. I'm going to just put a little bit of...
So we're not looking for that onion crunch right now?
No. Well, it's going to take a little bit of nice, long, slow cooking. With the arborio rice, this is a fat little rice like me, you know. It's nice and plump and well-rounded.
I like to say it's got curves in all the right places.
Just like Jenny.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's all about the base. Okay, so now you want to coat all of these beautiful little rice granules. And then the important thing is, I call it sipping the pot.
Sipping the pot?
Sipping the pot. This is, it's lovely and warm, so this is the first step you have to learn. Once you've coated your rice, you want to slowly add your vegetable stock.
I was just about to ask, what is in this thing? I need to know. Okay, so that's just a standard vegetable stock?
Yes. Look, if you want to, you can use an instant one, but I'm very sort of conscious of all that goodness in a pot. When you're boiling your veggies, you throw it away, so I just freeze it. So you can save all your veggie water and make your own, but there's nothing wrong. You can use a nice instant one.
Tip of the day coming through there from Jenny Morris herself. Of course, guys, head over to expressoshow.com to get more of these tips, where Jenny will be serving us all the info that we need to make this delicious mushroom risotto that is already halfway there. It's smelling incredible. I'm getting this kitchen feel. You're taking me back home. Nice. Nostalgia is already here.
Yes. Right. I need that one that I've made.
Say no more. Can I give it to you in a white dish as well?
You can give it to me, my dish.
Social distance hand over there for you.
Thank you, sweetheart. You touch that side, I touch this one. And then some lovely vegan cheese. You need a nice hard cheese. Vegan
I like
cheese.
This, just to go with the theme of our vegan dish right here.
Yes, look at that. I'll just get rid of those. Be quiet, be still my heart and my bowl. Look here, just look at that. And just a nice flourish of vegan cheese. And I'm going to pass it back to you. There you go. Maybe you can do a little sprinkling of parsley over the top.
Certainly.
There we go.
And now we do the thing.
And once this is cooked and it's beautiful, we just take some vegan butter. And you just stir the butter in, and it keeps it creamy, because as this cooks, what happens is you get this gorgeous sort of creaminess coming off the rice, which is fantastic. And then you just take your vegan butter and stir it in. You can use, there's lots of nut butters and things like that you could use as well. And then just look at that, it's starting to, even some margarines that are vegan, you know. So that will be ready in a couple of minutes, and we can have breakfast together.
I might just be taking you up on that one, Jenny. Well, thank you very much, guys. Of course, there you have it once again. Jenny making this dish sound just absolutely divine. And of course, the winning this Monday will continue. And now it's thanks to the delicious risotto recipe. And of course, you too can win big. And it's the final week of our hashtag Switch to Canola competition. And now we still have one last year-long, yes, that's right, a year-long supply of canola oil up for grabs. And all you have to do is reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter page and tell us 3 things that you love about Be Well Canola Oil. And of course, with the hashtag switch to canola, this week's competition is open until midnight on Wednesday. So get entering for the last chance to win. And of course, your terms and conditions can be found on expressoshow.com. This mushroom risotto, though, is spelling delicious. Let me enjoy this. Cheers, guys.
Be well. Love, food, life.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
A very good morning to you all. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. It's a Monday, a very special Monday at that. We're talking all things relationships. And today, the relationship architect, Seabelo Senatla, is joining us in studio to help us discuss what considerations parents need to make when it comes to modern parenting and how to use this to raise confident girls and respectful boys. It's so good to still have you around because this is a very important conversation to have.
Absolutely. I mean, we've chatted a lot off camera because there are just so many, it starts so many different conversations, but I think ultimately as a parent of a girl, I want her to be confident, I want her to be strong, and I want her to be able to protect herself in relationships, emotionally, physically, in all facets. How do we go about creating and fostering a confident young woman? How do we approach that as a parent?
You know, one of the biggest paradigms we need to get rid of is children should be seen and not heard. Okay, so took me till my 30s to find my voice. You need girls especially to know that they matter. You need to model self-acceptance to them. You want to they need to be upskilled and educated so that they feel that they're autonomous and independent, and that it's not about marrying someone, you know, that it's not about your looks, that it's about being autonomous and independent, and you really want them to be have a voice, and that their voice, I matter, my voice matters, my opinion matters, and as long as they feel that strong sense of self-acceptance, then they're not going to need or want approval, external validation, seeking external validation, whether it be from a man or social media or friends or peers.
Now we want that for everyone across the globe, especially with, you know, striking a balance between how to raise a girl and how to raise a boy. There shouldn't be any differences rather in doing so, obviously, unless it comes with like the very, you know, particular parts or aspects of life that are only, you know, focused on women or boys. But then in upbringing children in general for economic equality, for example, inclusion of women in the activities of the world, how do we do that? How do we raise children equally?
Well, I think that you really don't want to get into that stereotypical, you know, girls are in the kitchen and boys are. So you want your boys at home also to be cooking the food and helping and to clean, and not get caught up in the stereotypes or stereotypical role behaviors. And that socialization of expectations of that we expect girls to do this, and you know, that the boys in the house do this and the girls in the house do that. No, everyone does everything. everything, you know, and that it isn't reserved for any specific gender. And I think that the key thing for me is around teamwork. Yes, we are different. Girls and boys are different, and there are benefits and pros and cons to, you know, or rather there's opportunities for both that are different. It's not better or worse, and you really want to create this that there's value in girls and value in boys, and we need to discover what those are and work as a team together. I think if you can create this, that actually there's huge benefits from the genders working together, that you create strong teams. Everything in life is around teamwork and collaboration, being cooperative, figuring out what are the strengths that someone has, regardless of gender or race, or this whole diversity is extraordinary. And that's what we want, is to be celebrating diversity and not to be discriminating diversity.
Yeah. I'm still going to teach her Kung Fu as soon as I
Absolutely, and why not?
I love that. Thank you so much. You're making me feel a little bit better about it being a new parent to a gorgeous young girl, but hopefully you have taken some gems out of that as well, a conversation that really does need to be ongoing, not here, but in your home. So have these conversations with your partner and have them with your child. That child needs an opportunity to be able to speak their mind. Let them have a voice.
Love connecting with Shady Lewin this morning. We'd also love connecting with you on our social media platforms. We asked you on social media this morning, motherhood is, in this day and age, is an extreme sport. How are you teaching your daughter to be brave and strong during this time? And of course, you guys came through the comments. What are some of them?
Yeah, we got a comment from Charlene Mayer, who says, I believe that change starts with me. I dress up and show up as a single successful woman. I raised 2 beautiful children on my own. I'm an example of a woman who makes a difference in other people's lives. And my passion is to always uplift others.
Especially women, and treat others the way I would like to be treated. There is no better medicine than showing and giving love. I love myself and others, and that is enough. Because absolutely, if you love yourself, you are able to love others, and then just give that over to your children.
And I absolutely love how she just kind of starts answering this question by affirming all that she is. Do you know what I mean? By saying that this is who I am. I dress up, I show up, you know, saying that as a single mother. She did raise 2 beautiful children on her own. She's an example to other women. And I think that it's so important to acknowledge that, those strengths, those characteristics that make you extraordinary to yourself and to your community. Acknowledge them to yourself first so that you can live them every single day.
Absolutely. Keep connecting with us, Expresso Morning Show, and we'll see you in just a little bit.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you. Welcome back. Time to celebrate your birthday. And if you are celebrating your birthday today, you're in very good company. You celebrate alongside the Queen of Rock, Karen Zoid. She turns a young 42 years old. She's awesome, and she really does rock. She's a South African rock singer, songwriter, talk show host, a mentor in the business. One of her songs, Afrikaners is Plesierig, was listed as one of the top 100 greatest South African songs by the Sunday Times. So she's earned her chops. She has become become such an essential part of the South African music landscape, and she is a really wonderful human being. So we love you, Karen. Happy birthday.
And of course, we love you at home for sending through your request this morning. This one is for Seabelo. Happy birthday to our dearest cousin, Seabelo Lekesi. May you achieve and receive all that you ever wish for. And this is from your cousins in Mbekweni. And then happy 5th birthday, Faith Malchas. May God bless you more. Say the sweet, kind, and helping child that you are. We are so proud of you, Faith. Have an awesome birthday from your loving Africa family.
I love that. Then Wanda and Nkosanati, happy birthday to my friend and myself. We thank God for yet another year of surviving. We also thank everyone in our lives for their support through every challenge that we go through in life, from our family, friends, and to my girlfriend, Ashley. Thank you so much. That's from us. I love that dual message. Then Connor's also celebrating today. Happy 8th birthday to our firstborn, Connor Brown. We love you to infinity and beyond. And we are so proud of the young man that you are growing up to be. Loads of love from your dad, your mum, and little brothers Evan and Jaden. Happy birthday, Connor.
And then it's a 15th birthday to our princess Cassidy Cook, wishing you many more smiles, laughs, joys, and successes. You are a goddess, and we will celebrate you today. Love from your granny Pearl and the rest of your crazy family. Look at that big
We're all crazy.
smile. And then I wish my son Wayne Lee Jr. Narayan Nasami a happy 15th birthday, wishing you all the best always. We love you and we're so proud of you. This comes from your mom, dad, brother Jaden, sister Giselle, and all your friends and family.
Let's sneak in one more here. I'd like to wish my mom, Eunice van Staden, a happy birthday. We may not be with you today, but we love you so much. That's from your daughter and grandkids, Caden, Dalen, and Azalea. Happy birthday, Eunice. Happy birthday to all of you.
Absolutely. And of course, you can send us your birthday videos to 071 640 6551, or better yet, email your wishes to birthdays@cordova.tv. But time to find out how you can win big for the Crazy Store's 23rd birthday.
Go crazy. Go crazy.
Yeah, you can call us crazy, but we do love celebrating birthdays here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. In fact, every Friday we're celebrating the Crazy Store's 23rd birthday, and this until Friday, the 21st of August, where we could be calling you live on air to stand a chance to win an amazing Crazy Store hamper valued at 500 Rand.
Oh, it's so exciting indeed. Now, to enter the Crazy Store 23rd birthday giveaway, go to the Expresso Facebook page and comment on the Crazy Store competition post of the week by telling us if you could get yourself any birthday gift from the Crazy Store, what would it be? It's as simple as that. And who knows, we could be calling you this Friday to pop a birthday balloon and win an amazing Crazy Store prize hamper. Yeah, and our competition runs until the Friday, the 21st of August. And of course, your T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
And also remember that if you are in a Crazy Store, you too can be a winner every day with crazy discounts on selected items from the birthday promotion in all Crazy Stores. But that's not all, because if you spend 100 Rand or more, you can stand a chance to win 50,000 Rand in cash by filling in your details on your till slip and then dropping it in the competition box. Yes, it's got everyone here excited. Hopefully it's got you excited as well. So go out there, enter this wonderful competition, go crazy, and who knows, you could be a winner.
Woo!
Whoever you are, whatever you need, you'll find great value for the whole family at the Crazy Store. So duck into a store near you and be surprised.
Jared Ricketts, accompanied by Roderick McKay, presented us with 3 song options to keep our spirits uplifted this Women's Month. We've counted your votes, and this morning we have a top 2. Here are the winning songs chosen by you, our beautiful viewers. The winning songs this week from your votes are To God Be the Glory, which he performed earlier on, and right now he's about to perform My Life Is in Your Hands. We hope that these performances keep you in good spirits, and don't forget to sing along with us. Record yourself performing to be God Be the Glory and post it on our social media pages, and your video could be aired live on Expresso next week Monday. But for now, it's time for more performances by Jared Ricketts and Roderick McKay. Take it away.
You don't have to worry, and don't you be afraid. Joy comes in the morning, troubles they don't last always. For there's a friend named Jesus who will wipe your tears away. And if your heart
about everybody. Jared Ricketts and Roderick McKay on the keys. That was such a beautiful song. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
What should we be looking forward to on Sunday?
Listen, Sunday I've got another lunchtime live virtual concert, the 16th of August, and we've got a couple of my favorite people in the music industry, a lot of unknowns. So if you're looking to get to know some talent that you never heard of before, you can tune in. You can purchase your tickets at Cricket for 70 Rand, and on the day of the show you will get a link from Cricket that will send you straight into the live performance, and hopefully you're going to be there watching.
Always, always, always. If you want more of this deliciousness, amazingness, make sure to do exactly what he said. But from all of us here right now, we'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, man, what a way to start off on Monday. Thank you very much, Jared Ricketts, for that wonderful blessing. And, oh, man, what a show it's been.
Some incredibly inspirational women today, so thank you so much for inspiring us, all of our guests today. And can we just say it one more time, because I think it deserves to be said. Well done, Brad Pinder. Being the first ever Grand Prix MotoGP winner from South Africa. Really impressive stuff, man.
Absolutely, absolutely echoing that statement indeed. Jamie,
yes?
In terms of inspiring women, do you feel inspired today?
Absolutely. From Professor to everyone, Shirley Lewin just dropping all those bombs today. I am totally inspired. And then Jared Ricketts, of course, ending the show on the best note ever. Our spirits are uplifted. It's definitely setting the tone for the week.
Yeah. How about you there, Ryle?
I've got to admit, my inspiration today, Kat, it's got to be Jamie, of course. Taking me through that fitness segment, it was absolutely inspirational. Her journey is just a testament of what is achievable. And I think on that note, for all women, I think you've really just held that baton high. And I think we can just celebrate women in general this month. And for the rest of the year, I think it's well deserved, yeah.
Well said. Well said. Well, we're going to say goodbye to you, but we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Have yourself a wonderful Monday. Make someone smile out there.
Yeah.
What's that to me?
Expresso Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.